wisdom from Michael Jordan himself.
Another blunt, man.
And the irony is, the fantastic irony here is that
You full of shit.
all of us have screwed up trading, some worse than others, but you have to admit that and realize that it's part of the game. If freaking Michael Jordan can't even get it right, what chance do we have? Anyway, good evening. How's it going? Sunday, June 18th? June 18th, 2023. We do have the futures market open, from what I understand. I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at it yet, but we'll check it out here in a little bit, maybe. Let's see. What will Donahue George do if AMC squeezes and Judge Zern approves or disapproves the AMC reverse split? Well, we know well, I don't know if we know this, but he's not, is he going to sell? I mean, the apes don't sell.
Legal advice for entertainment education.
Let's find out.
My opinion. Please don't make anything I say in these videos. That being said, hit the like button, subscribe button on YouTube.
What's up, everybody?
So you get the video, I put them out. See, I'm thinking, see, man, not that data, but like I tell every day, the data they release us is false. And then it gets a false narrative. The market to be doing bad trading decision. Listen, a lot of people are asking me, yo, what are you gonna do?
Hey, yo, what are you gonna do?
The AMC play is over. They're wondering if the judge allows a reverse split, am I going to stay in the...
This sounds like something that Lou would get asked all the time, because Lou's the one that would talk, oh, after AMC, we're going to go into silver. We're going to go into this. We're going to go into that. I mean, what's the next play? A sundial? Yeah. Sundial, man.
Play. And I'm not telling nobody to buy, hold, or sell AMC. That's not what I'm telling you. But I'm telling you my opinion. I'm telling you what I think. I think that
we know what you think.
You're going to see a major move before the end of the summer. I think that the judge might not approve the reverse split because everything that's
really
been uncovered, everything that's been uncovered since this lawsuit started, I think is very bad for AREN.
What has been uncovered exactly? What has been uncovered?
It shows a level of conspiracy that's really unmatched, and I think the judge is going to see that also. But I am not the judge. I am not Vice Chancellor Zern. So my opinion doesn't...
No, you're not even a fucking lawyer anymore, are you, Donnie? And this could be considered, maybe, potentially, giving legal advice. So you better hope that nobody who knows about your past is watching this.
Doesn't mean anything whatsoever. Okay, my opinion means...
But here, listen. But he did get one thing right. Listen.
And I think the judge is going to see that also, but I am not the judge. I am not Vice Chancellor Zern.
Here it is.
So my opinion doesn't mean anything whatsoever.
My opinion means nothing whatsoever.
The reverse split is not going to happen, and then AMC will start to run. That's what I believe. But worst case scenario, let's say the reverse split happens, and APE becomes AMC in a conversion. Then APE might run a little bit to try to meet to the same price as AMC, because they're not going to want to see us make any money off the arbitrage.
No.
What they do everything in their power to make sure we don't eat.
Yep, exactly. That's it. You've got it.
The reverse split. I'm not selling my shit.
They don't want you to eat. That's it. You figured it out.
And I'm going to tell you why.
You figured it out.
As far as I'm concerned, AMC the company has a lot of upside potential. AMC the company has a lot of room to grow. AMC the company has multiple revenue streams, and I don't see how it can go into bankruptcy. I mean, to me, it's almost impossible given the current circumstances. given how people could think about streaming and everything else, there's no experience like a movie experience. You can watch it at home. You can have the best movie theater in your house, but it's not the same as going to the movie theater.
No, it's not the same.
Other people and enjoying the movie. Just a totally different experience. And
Why are you trying to convince us that we should like fucking movies? What, like, who is he talking to exactly here? People who have never been to a movie? Who are you talking to? What is the purpose of this? I don't see one. I see bloviation. I see somebody who likes to hear himself talk. I hear somebody who's obviously, I'll go there, in a public place. He's obviously in a public place. He looks like a restaurant or something, maybe sounds like a restaurant or some kind of community. I don't know, but he's indoors. And during his disclaimer, he was looking around like, is anybody? Yeah, there isn't a single ape in that building.
I think it can be replicated in a home theater, and that's just my opinion. And once again, I'm not trying to buy, hold, or sell AMC. But if the reverse,
maybe he's in like a private dining room or something.
And I will sell.
I don't think it's his house.
And I will hold on to my shares because I think AMC
maybe it's his office.
And even if the reverse split is granted by the judge and the conversion, I am still not going to sell my shares. I look at it as money that's already spent and gone, like I spent it on a vacation or on some kind of hobby or something that I like to do. And
eating out.
Everything that I've learned over the last 3 years in the stock market has made this whole journey worthwhile to me. Okay?
What?
The whole journey worthwhile to me, and it has helped me interact with a lot of you beautiful people, and I think there's a lot more room for growth. A lot more room for growth. So, bottom line is this:
it sounds like he's setting up, like an excuse for when AMC just fizzles out. Well, we learned a lot over these years. It wasn't a total waste. I already look at it like I spent the money on a hobby, so it's already gone in my mind. That's what he's doing. It sounds exactly like what he's doing. Ay.
Split or not, I won't be selling my shares. I will sell my leaps. I will sell my options, and I'm going to hold on because I think AMC is a great long-term play. Anyway, please some comments. What do you think? If AMC reverse split or if AMC goes to the moon, what are you guys going to do? Are you going to sell your shares or are you going to continue?
Well, that's not what you said. I mean, we're not talking about it going to the moon. We're talking about a reverse split. Reverse splits do they tend to send stocks to the moon? I don't think so. Isn't that kind of the whole problem? Look at this comment. Not selling, I will only buy more forever. It is a solid, never-ending long-term strategy that never incurs, misspelled, any losses. That never incurs any losses. I mean, okay, whatever. Like, what? If AMC squeezes to 150 or higher, I will sell it all, but I will buy back. Like, boy, these people are allergic to profit. They are allergic to profit. If it squeezes to 150 or higher, I will sell it all, but I will buy back. A squeeze is just around the corner. I know this play will go to the moon, but never fear, I will be a bag holder because I will buy back. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you actually short? And then you're saying you're going to buy back. Win or not, retail needs to fight back with lawsuits and protests. This is going on all over the stock market. Wall Street corruption needs to end. Hi, your video today gave me some relief. Thank you. Wow, imagine that. Imagine if this video gave you relief. But I think AMC goes to the moon. If AMC goes to the moon, I might sell half the amount to take care of my bills, my family's bills, and give to the churches. So what I'm gathering so far is that these people are saying, even if it does squeeze, they're not going to sell. I have no idea why that would be the case. You would be letting the hedgies win in that case. So I will sell half of my shares if the reverse split gets approved. My biggest concern is average share price will be too high and believe the shorts will short it down to single digits. With all the fraud DDAA and the board has done, with all the fraud DDAA and the board has done, I pray the judge will vote in our favor. Which is messed up because, well, first of all, there's a settlement on the table that could be proved, and then this is all moot. But like, what is voting in the ape's favor? What does that mean? I think that means not allowing the reverse split, but how is that actually in the ape's favor? That harms the company. AMC shareholders need to learn what a death spiral is. Adam will bank this company sometime next year. Aren't you worried they will naked short it back down like Mullen? I love this. Naked shorting is so ubiquitous now that, that on an AMC video, somebody can comment, hey, aren't you worried that they will naked short it like they did with Mullen? And nobody even questions it. Fantastic. When in reality, there is not a single shred of evidence that supports a claim that any of these stocks were naked shorted, much less AMC. But I know that's the only way stocks go down, naked shorting. I will not hold stock in AMC no more. I will not hold stock in AMC no more. So you will then? AA should be in prison. More lawsuits and protests need to happen. Yeah, right. Hey, Vineyards, how you doing? The split is going to be approved and the judge is going to be one rich woman. Ironically, the payoff will come out of shareholders' pockets, and just like everything else that dirty AREN has done. No way I'm holding through the reverse split after the absolute screw job that this play has been. You saw what happened to Mullen. I'd venture a guess that upwards of 95% of retail got in this play for the MOASS potential, including Donahue George. Now, Donahue George talking out of both sides of his mouth about cost to borrow, synthetics, and now some long-term vision and fundamentals. Call a spade a spade. This ticker will never see 10x anyone's cost average if a reverse split drops. If AA is around, he's going to empty the treasury of the share increase that drops at the same time at every turn. Popcorn and the board should be in prison for colluding with hedgies and insider trading. Wow. You should be in prison. Okay. Jesus Christ. Money spent and money stolen are two different things, in my opinion. I'm selling and shorting the hell out of AMC if the reverse split goes through. Interesting perspective. Got to stop the background family noise. People are down hundreds of thousands. We're desperate for info and support. Lots of us invested more than just vacation money. Well, that's on you. That was a cold-hearted statement. Before you start building your defenses, I'm X mil too. Don't do excuses, own it. Oh, that's where you learned your good reasoning skills, I guess. Oh my goodness. Okay. Mullen is, Manuel says Mullen is the next Tesla. Lawrence is the next Elon. They don't want another Mullen to win. Of course they don't, because you already have, you already have Elon Musk coming forward as the savior of humanity, with the AI legislation. Who could we trust to be in charge of that, I wonder? Oh, good question. Good question. All right. Oh, yeah. So here's Lou telling us why AMC sold shares on June 2nd, 2021. It wasn't, I don't, I mean, It doesn't have anything to do with the price, I don't think. I don't think it has anything to do with the price.
I'll back this up even more. How do I know the take?
I mean, I don't know what you think, but
That's the case. I don't know. I don't really think that's the case. I don't really think that's the case.
well, I don't trust Harvard or Notre Dame. So, and I don't trust people with MBAs. So, and I'm half joking, but see, like to me, this is part of the problem. You know, I mean, how many people on Wall Street have exactly these things? These are the people who engineered, you know, this perfected scam that we call the stock market that the apes bought into, hook, line, and sinker. That's, you know, another perspective. But um but it is true that all you need now is a Robinhood account and you're an expert. And you know, that's evident with these guys, it's evident with this guy. And what is the obsession with wife beater shirts, tank tops? No, but they aren't getting scammed. Of course they're not getting, they're the ones doing the scamming. That's you know. So again, what does a judge ruling in someone's favor mean here? I don't know. You know, there's no clear, nobody is nobody deserves shit in this thing. But yeah, um, looking for 4 to 5 on APE and 50 to 100 on AMC. That's gonna be that's gonna be I mean, you're gonna need some binoculars or a telescope for that one, I think. Personally, that's my opinion. My inverse, because I mean, generally speaking, if a price if this if a price is at a certain level and then it goes to another level, let's say it's around like, I don't know, $5 and it goes to $70 and then it goes back basically to $5, you will probably need to see something. I mean, this is what people say. This is the general, you know, this is commonly what's commonly held. Um, is it always right? No. But is it right more often than not? Probably. I'm not a statistician, but uh, you need to see anything that would hint at that before that could be legitimized. You could say, well, did we see that before it went to $72? But again, that was a completely different landscape period that we're not in. And if people are thinking that this new quote unquote bull market is going to be the catalyst, we'll see about that, I guess. But anyway, but we're actually going for Lou here. A gambler? I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair. Okay,
Is in place.
let's go back.
I'll back this up even more. How do I know the takeover operation was always in place? When we ran up to 72 and popcorn sold at a discount to Mudrick, AMC shares, why did Mudrick dump those shares immediately? Okay, let's say they had a short position. Okay, fine. They're going to make a killing. They were going to dump those shares and whatever. But you're not understanding something.
Ah,
How much money would Mudrick have made if they would have held on to those shares at the lower price that they bought it from AMC and popcorn?
I mean, imagine this, like an ape saying, well, how much money would they have made if they just held on to the shares? That something about that just makes me laugh
They
internally.
would have bought those shares at that price and held it to, let's say, 150, 200, 300, 500. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
But it didn't.
We always had that feeling like, why are they always trying to suppress?
But it didn't go to those prices, did it?
And if they would have held on to those shares at the lower price that they bought it from AMC and popcorn, if they would
$1.50. I'm thinking like real share prices. No, it's $1.50.
bought those shares at that price and held it to, let's say, 150, 200, 300, 500.
No, he's saying 500. He is saying 500. What are you talking about?
Do you understand
What?
I'm trying to tell you?
No.
We always had that feeling like, why are they always trying to suppress this? It's because their greater plan of having a corner, owning the corner, having a monopoly on film distribution, the movie theater in the United States is very important to somebody that's out there. I don't know who that somebody is, but that's why they always needed to keep this low.
Couldn't we just look and see like who you know, recently bought a bunch or whatever, like who has the biggest position? Like it's not exactly secret. So I'm skeptical
You
here.
understand? And in return, they always put massive shorts on. The shorts that were unbelievable. That made no sense. The reason why is because of the greater goal. They're going to corner the movie theater industry because distribution is only done through the movie theaters. That's AMC. So,
Well, that's not true. That's not true. It's not true. And some areas don't even have AMC theaters. Some regions don't even have AMC theaters.
that's why they did that. That's why it was dangerous. Now a lot of little D's got involved that had nothing to do with this, and a lot of them got vaporized going against us. But understand something. Why would Mudrick drop those shares at that point? Why would they do that? That makes no sense, because they would, if this thing would have went to $300, $400, $500, do you know what they would have made? And still turned around and, like, forget it. Just unbelievable. What I'm trying to say is, people, we interrupted an agreed upon takeover by coming in and looking at the short squeeze potential, the MOASS, that they created in order to do the hostile takeover. But it wasn't hostile. It wasn't an agreed upon thing. It just looked hostile. But along the way,
it looked hostile.
they
Okay.
took money from the government. They, you know, yeah, give us those checks.
Yeah, they did from
They did everything.
apes buying the shares they offered.
That wasn't the case. That wasn't the case at all. The goal was always to drop the price down, short it down, whatever. And then we came along, we bought all those shares, and then we complicated it further, and then it ran up. And that's why would they drop?
I mean, this is a grand conspiracy, but it's nonsense. It's not substantiated by anything.
A bigger picture down the road that they didn't share.
I mean, they didn't have to keep it down. The way it works is this, like the company is operating. They bring in a certain amount of money. Stock price is independent of that. Does it match the revenue? Does it match the profit that the company's bringing in? If the answer is yes, then chances are the stock price may probably stay more or less where it's at. If the answer is no, then the question is, okay, is the stock price too high for the fundamentals that we have? Or is the stock price below where the fundamental valuation of the company would place it? And I think it's pretty clear that in 2021, middle of 2021, when most people had not been vaccinated, COVID was basically an unchecked pandemic. And you had, hundreds or thousands of people dying every day. So you're not operating, you're not bringing in revenue. Does it make sense for a stock to be at all-time highs 2.5 times its previous all-time high? I mean, if there's any doubt, let me just go ahead and say no. No, that's not an efficient market valuation. So I've said plenty of times before, the market seeks efficiency. It seeks efficiency. It's like energy, seeks to be conserved, right? So things tend to go to their naturally most stable state. And in this case, it's not a price that is you know, high 2, low 3, or more digits. It's just not substantiated. Even if the fundamentals of the company return to 2019 levels or higher, it's still not supported. It's still not supported. And there doesn't have to be a short squeeze. That's not the only way that these things that short positions can be unwound. And I think that, the thing to keep in mind here is it already happened once in a big way, and people lost money. Is it likely to happen again? Not saying it couldn't, but is it likely? I mean, again, conventional wisdom says no, it's not. Flip the script and you have Peloton. I haven't seen Peloton lately. I haven't seen it lately. I know I remember what happened to it last year. Oh yeah, right. So so Peloton may be undervalued. TradingView has a buy rating on it. Just kind of been humming along down here. Um, I mean, this is hilarious. This should have been a major warning sign to the market, and it probably was for a lot of people. That should have been, but I mean, here's the thing. I love this. Earnings that came out on August 26, 2021. Yeah, you had a little bit. Cracks are starting to form. Cracks are starting to form. Very much an earnings led type of thing. And of course, its peak was here. It's so interesting in January. They peaked during the outbreak because everybody's staying at home. They're not going to the gym. Everybody has extra money. They can buy exercise equipment. So here's your fund. And this is fundamental. It's what Ron is saying. This is fundamental. Now, what happened over here? Well, pandemic restrictions ended. People went back to work. The free money ended. People don't have money to spend. Everybody who is going to buy Peloton has already bought a Peloton. I'm talking about the actual product. They have market saturation. Maybe I'm just throwing out ideas, thoughts, but yeah, let's have fun here and put AMC on the same chart for comparison. We can do that. Let's go ahead and have more fun and put GameStop on here too, and Bed Bath and Beyond. Why not? Have fun with it. Does it even really matter which line is which? I don't think it does. Things really start to get interesting in 2022 for me in terms of some of these pump and dump operations that are happening here. Because I mean, I guarantee we could put on the SPY as well, and I do care which color this one is. Oh, good, it's purple. Nice. Do you see the same, generally speaking, the same type of curvature patterns, or at least these? And Peloton's following it down there in the candles. It is following it. You know, it's just now, of course, things may have changed here a little bit, but I mean, it's still the market. This is GameStop. AMC is in orange, so it's going down here. And Bed Bath & Beyond, of course, is delisted. So anyway. Looks like overhead supply now. Looks like overhead. Let me get all this crap off here. That's a weekly chart. This is a daily chart. So now, stop doing that. Stop doing that. If we put on visual range volume profile and adjust it maybe so that it uses more than the edge of the screen. Okay, 40. You know, I mean, this is actually, so the stock was just, you know, was barely listed in 2019, October 2019. All of this speculative nonsense up here, even with all of that, it is absolutely an overhead supply zone. Absolutely. Look at how much trading is happening, has happened down here at this lowest level. If we go in here and put on the labels, the value labels, we have to do something to make us be able to see it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I don't normally do this, so, but we're not looking at the price actually. So it's visual range, Scott. You have to, it has to be visible. We're talking about 515 million shares sold, 576 million shares bought, 515 million shares sold at that level. At the, you know, the highest levels there. Oh, I'm sorry, the lowest, the lowest price levels, the highest levels of participation or share volume. So way down here, even though all of this happened. And we can actually see right here in the profile here, what I'm looking at is the balance between the red and the green there. And you know what? It looks pretty even. What does that mean? That means that this was all nonsense, basically. It means that it's, you know, as quickly as it shot up to these heights, it went back down through them, and it probably won't go back. That's all. So here's your overhead supply box. And I'll even put it down here at the bottom of the gap. I'll even put it there. That's it. Anytime it even thinks about getting close. Model 3 dude. Pre-COVID, COVID, post-COVID. That's it. Interesting. Okay, well, anyway, let's get back to Lou. So Lou's saying that AMC needed to be down, they need the price to be down so that whoever can do this takeover. It's not Mudrick. Is it Antara? I don't know.
If they,
let
me tell you something.
If
they had prior knowledge of all this happening in the future, if this is discovered that they had prior knowledge that there was going to be a takeover and these were agreed upon terms and stuff like that, and we lost money, there's fiduciary responsibility. If you think these two lawsuits are something, you're going to see what happens on the other side. Why would Mudrick have bought at a low price and sold it off at that time? Why Mudrick? You understand? And for the people on the street, understand something. I'm not against you motherfuckers. I get it. I understand you. But I'm on this side now. Just like one day when you motherfuckers retire. And you go through this process and you don't like it.
Listen to Lou trying to equate himself with the Wall Street types, like they're peers. I love it. Now you guys understand. I'm not,
Cheated. Do I wish demise on you motherfuckers? No, I don't. Like I said, respect among sharks. I get it.
respect amongst sharks. Oh, that's hilarious.
A lot of innocent people got fucked up in the process. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to put this out there. And you're enjoying the fucking fight too, back and forth with us. It's a game, I get it. But I'm just trying to show everybody, explain what has been happening. AMC was never a MOASS. AMC was never a squeeze in their eyes. It was always a drop the stock, take it over, and then it'll become somebody else's possession, and they will corner the movie distribution in the United States.
Where did this come from?
You got to understand something. That was the plan. But when we...
And why hasn't it worked out? I mean, okay, so that was the plan. Retail investors came in and screwed up the plan and bought AMC, and it went to the moon. Okay, but now it's not at the moon anymore. So what? Did they miss their opportunity? Like what? How do you explain what's happening? I just don't.
Man, it was like, whoa, what's going on? All of a sudden, we bought up all the shares. We flipped the switch on them. We still flipped
No.
the switch on them. This lawsuit now flipped the switch on them. All this is...
I really wish they would stop saying things like we bought up all the shares. It doesn't work like that. That's not how it works. It's not like it's not really like there's a fine. If you want to give a company money, they will take your money. If you want to buy something, they will take your money. Who? I don't know. Maybe AMC, it may not be AMC, probably won't be AMC. They'll never see a dime of it, but you'll be able to buy it and you will have equity exposure. It's, in my opinion, see, I don't care about short squeezes. It's not something that I'm like seeking out. I don't think it's a legitimate strategy. So in that sense, I don't view it as a contrarian signal. If something has high short interest, there may be a reason for that beyond the fact that you think it will just shoot up to the moon later. That's not necessarily true, as we've seen. Now, having said that, I said this last time, there hasn't been anything that's been even come close to the GameStop short interest of January 2021. So what are we talking about? How are we talking about a squeeze? You want 20% short interest, 22% short interest, 25% short interest. Yeah, I could show you a dozen stocks right now that have that. Nobody's talking about a squeeze. There won't be a squeeze. Nothing will happen. Short interest alone will not create a squeeze. It won't create a squeeze. So
Discovery flipped the switch on them. The vice chancellor flipped the switch on them. Do you understand the potential of this now? We interrupted a friendly, agreed upon takeover that happened to be the biggest short squeeze, in my opinion, that I have ever seen. You need to understand, this is bigger than what we all thought.
It's not over, or what?
Was in place. There you go. Think about that for Sunday. So.
Boy, I tell you what, that's a kind of a scary notion. Lou kissing anyone. Anyway, Lynn says, request, please hit the thumbs up if you haven't so we can get a better shot at getting folks in the stream. Appreciate it. Unfortunately, these grifters have cried wolf on catalyst for so long that even if there is a catalyst, I don't know if anybody will take it seriously, especially people outside of the ape community, which is kind of what you need in order for a catalyst to work out. It's kind of like the Federal Reserve. People don't believe the Federal Reserve. People don't believe in these AMC, Wall Street doesn't believe in the AMC catalysts. And love them or hate them, you need institutions. You need institutions. and they don't believe. And quite frankly, I'm surprised that there wasn't more of a sell-off recently because of the bad news from Disney. I thought there would be more of an impact, but of course, that's why you don't trade on news. But anyway, futures, you say, oh, yes, the futures. Yes, the futures are here. The futures are here. They're up slightly, except the Dow, except crude oil, except natural gas. It's a typical futures opening. It is a typical futures opening. But see, the problem is you can't just say not yet, they will. Okay, but that's unsubstantiated. Yeah, I might, I might, whatever. This company might, whatever. And you can have a belief, you can have a blind belief, but that's, that's not the approach that we're advocating for. And the only thing you can do is go with where the evidence leads, and the evidence does not lead there. Now, some people would say, well, that's a contrarian indicator. If everything is, this way, then you got to look at the other side. And I generally agree with that to a certain point, at least in terms of you have to look at it. But the problem here is that everybody is on one side. Retail investors are all on this side. So you have to look at the other side. Model 3 dude says, buy on rumors, sell on news. Manuel says, AMC better hope that the writer strike and boycotts doesn't affect the company. It will. If there are, I didn't even know that there were what you call it, strikes, writer strikes. So many low quality channels these days. It's not even. Here's Uncle Frank. See, now we're starting to get some really desperate hope. A special message for all real apes. Cult language thrown in there. Now is our time. Now is our time. I mean, has a cult, show me a cult whose leader has not said that. This is our time. It is our time. I'm pretty sure that is a prereq for being a cult leader.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to hear my trading and market updates. This is Uncle Frank, and I'm not a financial advisor, nor is
not a financial advisor.
Construed as financial advice. This
channel
weirdo. For entertainment purposes only. Please remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed the presentation, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you're alerted when I have new information to share. So now let's get into the latest updates.
And Vineyard says that is a writer's that's for TV shows right now. That is not true. That is not true. So it is Writers Guild of America. And I've got a list here of movies that are impacted by it. Let me bring this up here. If I can find it. There it is. And then this is actually from, when is this from? Last Thursday, okay? But a union representing nearly all TV, film, and radio actors in the country is weighing whether to join the writers on strike when its contract with studios expires at the end of June. Yeah, I mean it's a timeline issue, right? Because movies that are being created now, they've already been written. So it's movies in the future that will be impacted. That's why you're not seeing it so much right now. But it's the same union. Okay, it's the same union. Marvel and DC Comics both delayed upcoming projects until the writer's strike is over. We know that the Avatar, we know that the Captain America, yeah, that's what it was. So it's real. It is going to affect things. This puts a bit of a damper on the the apes' fantasy of continued just improvement. Let me go back. It puts a damper on the apes' fantasy of continued linear or exponential improvement in AMC. And this is the problem, right? You can't. Who knew that this would happen? Nobody. But why would you be all in on one thing anyway? Like, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, so we'll see how it plays out. Maybe they'll resolve it tomorrow, and the impact will be minimal. Or maybe the actors will go on strike too. That would be terrible. And no, it's not going to be felt right away. I would say Citadel's probably not encouraging the strikes. Although, if you believe that Citadel is massively short on AMC and is underwater and should have declared bankruptcy by now, which Donahue George said months ago, then you probably think that they are encouraging the strikes. But Citadel doesn't want companies to go bankrupt. They don't want things to be lower. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, but I know Manuel is just being funny, or attempting to be funny.
Hey, well,
All I have to say is, who do you think someone like Alkin's handler is? Right? There's a reason why Lynn called me Scott Alkin once. Is it the AI version of Ken Griffin? I don't know. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm not saying that. Anyway,
welcome back, everyone.
Lynn
Well,
knows.
only 13 days left to the end of June, which is also the end of the second quarter and hopefully the end of the predatory short hedge funds on this AMC trade. In this episode, we are going to cover every event,
Predatory?
every trading day until the month ends, and we are going to.
I'm sorry. You are a fucking snowflake if you think that this is predatory short. What? Predatory. Oh, big traders, put on your big boy pants. Oh, they're predators. They're stalking us. It's unfair. Fair, man. They're predators. Grow a fucking pair. Grow the fuck up. They're not predatory. What the fuck could possibly be predatory? You, if anything, you are the idiot for putting out for the world to know what you are expecting to happen. Okay? Now, you have to understand from the apes' perspective, they're not used to anybody listening to them. Nobody listens to the apes or takes them seriously, like on an individual level. And maybe it'll be different now that Reddit is basically falling apart. But when you put things on the internet, on social media, it doesn't matter if people believe them or not. Perception becomes reality, and you better believe that the people who have an interest in, and the institutions who have an interest in protecting the status quo, protecting what they have, protecting their assets, they are going to cover their assets. So if there's a threat, especially since it's already happened once before with this stock and with others, no, you're going to use everything in your power if you need to. You may not even need to, because they don't have money. Apes don't have enough money to create this. They don't have enough money to foment this type of move anymore. But all I'm saying is, the expectation fulfilled, and the more people who believe in an expectation, the less likely that expectation is to come to fruition. That's just, it's actually a psychological concept. Popcorn. What does popcorn have to do with anything? I fail to see.
On the planet to go see the new Indiana Jones movie, which drops on the 30th, which is also a Friday.
There's already a half a dozen brands of popcorn. Why would I care about AMC
Or
popcorn?
if they don't have an
Why would
AMC near
anybody
them,
care?
we want
It
them to
doesn't,
buy something from the
it's nothing.
AMC movie
Smoke and
merchandise
mirrors.
website. What we want to accomplish
The
here
apes
is
would
to
be
make June
definitely
30th
fooled
the
by it.
biggest day of the month, the biggest day of the quarter, and the biggest day of the year for our
Oh,
top line
fuck.
revenue.
So go,
Look, guys, what I'm trying to do here is send a clear message to Wall Street that we own 100% of this bitch. If 3.8 million
you
shareholders
don't
own
though.
on average only 265 shares, then that's over a billion shares. Hell,
I mean, okay. Did you hear what he just did there? Do you hear what he just did? I mean, that's abuse of statistics, first of all. And they've been doing this particular one since 2021. Look, I get to talk about something I talked about 2 years ago. I never get to do that. Listen,
look, guys, what I'm trying to do here is send a clear message to Wall Street that we own 100% of this bitch. If 3.8 million shareholders own on average only 265 shares, then that's over a billion shares. Hell, we may even own.
I mean, like that is some of the that right there. You're telling me that's somebody who never took a statistics course. That's somebody who may not have taken any college courses. And you know, that's fine. I'm not discriminating or anything, but I'm just describing what's being said here. This is brain dead. This is not the way averages work. It's not the way statistics works. This is not the case. I have to think. Tony knows
Do you
that.
think that's the case? I don't know. I don't really think that's the case.
No, I don't.
I don't really think that's the case.
It's not the case that he knows, I guess. But now, what did he say? He said,
Trying to do here is send a clear message to Wall Street that
Jesus,
we own 100%
come on.
of this bitch. If 3.8 million shareholders own on average only 265 shares, then that's over a billion shares. Hell, we may even own this
265 shares, 265 times 3.8 billion, 3.8 million, I guess. That's over a billion shares. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, sure, it is. But the problem is, what's the problem? That's not how averages work. Yeah, you might have an average shareholding of 265, but the thing about averages is they're not all the numbers that go into creating the average, that go into figuring the average. They're not the same number. Like, there's no question about that. Everybody does not have 265 shares, and you cannot multiply the number of shareholders by the average number of shares. It just doesn't work like that because it's an average. Not everybody has that number. That is the average holding. You cannot work backwards. You cannot work backwards here and recreate the number. You can't do that. We don't care how many shares you have, and we don't talk about those types of things here. So just keep that in mind. It's not relevant to this discussion. You have more than the average then. If someone has more than the average, there you go. That means that in all reality, a lot of people have less than the average. They have fewer shares than the average. The average becomes 265. So I don't know, like this is frustrating because this is like I thought that this was like a middle school or high school math concept, like when you learn statistics in high school and junior year of high school or whatever. But think of what it was for me. And I took statistics in college. This was 20 years ago. And I honestly can't remember where I learned this concept or if I just already knew it. But this is one way that people manipulate things with statistics. True. But that has always been a problem. And see here, you get into these things where now, okay, it's over a billion shares. Well, I mean, okay, fine, whatever. A billion shares, that's not too bad. But when you start saying things like, well, there's the average shareholding is 300 and there's 4.1 million, shareholders. And now we're talking about 1.2 billion. And we saw based on other incorrect estimation methods. People saying that there were 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 billion shares. Now, it's just not, this is not it. It's just not it. So anyway,
this piece twice. We are having a great second quarter, especially the month of June. Super Mario Brothers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Fast X, The Little Mermaid,
Fast
Spider-Man,
X.
Transformers. Right now in the theaters, we've got Flash, Elemental, and The Blackening. But Indiana Jones is a special film. And since the month and this quarter ends on a Friday, and that's when the new Indiana Jones drops, we should all mark the occasion.
Yes, I want to go see a geriatric Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones because I haven't seen enough of Harrison Ford in my life. That makes a lot of sense. He is in this one, right? Yeah, it's him.
By
think so.
blowing the roof off
I
the
don't know.
theaters. My hope is that my subscribers will take this challenge to every ape in our universe by sharing on Twitter, posting on.
Have you heard the good news about AMC? They're probably not going to go bankrupt. As long as you go see the movies and buy popcorn. So go to the movies, buy popcorn, do it all using your credit card. And AMC probably won't go bankrupt. You may not lose more money.
On Reddit and getting your tickets now. Let's sell out every AMC theater on the planet, letting the world know this company doesn't belong to Antara, Adam Aaron, or anyone else. AMC is 100% owned by the apes.
I mean, you can say that all you want, but that doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it true. I mean, you looked at Fidelity the last time. You know, and actually it is Harrison Ford. It is Harrison Ford in that movie. I just looked it up because I was already in process of looking it up. And this is on the Lucasfilm website, but it says that Harrison Ford reprises his iconic role as our favorite on-screen archaeologist. Antonio Banderas. Cool. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Cross-pollinated with the Dan, what is it, Dan Brown? Angels and no, whatever the Dan Brown was. Anyway, whatever. Should be a very big movie. It won't, it doesn't matter. It's not going to cause a squeeze. So let's just clear that up right now. That will not cause a short squeeze. You literally had Avatar. You had an Avatar, you had a Top Gun. In my mind, Top Gun is way bigger than what, the fifth or sixth Indiana Jones movie? How many Top Gun sequels were there? I don't I don't think that this is a big deal at all. This is a nothing burger. I don't know how people haven't, I'm sure some people have, okay? But the actual movie content does not matter. It has never mattered.
Tickets are already on sale for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I want you to reserve your seats and challenge everyone you can on social media to post their confirmations like I have here.
I wonder if everybody will in the movie theater will gasp like they did in 2016 when Star Wars The Force Awakens came out and Carrie Fisher's character appeared on screen. I'll never forget that. The gasp, the collective gasp from the theater was unforgettable. I mean, oh my God, it's Carrie Fisher. Wow, look at her. Yeah, it was something. It was something.
here.
I'll never forget
Be
that.
sure to black out any identifying information. Now, like I said earlier, if you don't have an AMC near you, you can buy something from the movie merchandise website when the Indiana Jones items become available. And you can post that. We
Yes.
are going to prove once and
Yes.
for all that we, the shareholders, own this company.
Yes. You are going to change the world by buying overpriced trinkets that the company, the retailer selling them from, gets a small portion of the profit from. Yes, you are going to change the world. Yes. Come on. Come on.
Will determine its future. Not the predatory short hedge funds, not the regulators or prime brokers, not Antara or even Adam Aron and the board of directors. We, the shareholders, own this company and will decide its direction going forward. Now, I know you're confused by all these legal actions. I know you're tired and frustrated, and many of you are bitterly disappointed. But our power is in our numbers, and that we have refused to give in. There is nothing illegal or wrong with supporting and promoting a business you own. We need to let management know exactly.
Yeah. Well, by the same token, there is nothing illegal about telling the truth about a company that you sold. There's nothing wrong with expressing an opinion about a company that you sold. So, stock bashing, like I like to say, you're a basher. You're a basher. You're bashing the stock. No. No. And if that becomes illegal, God help us, number one. Number two, if it becomes illegal to point out the inconsistencies, lies, falsehoods, and exaggerations, misinterpretations. Oh, yeah. Gross misinterpretations and misunderstandings of something, then, that's it. I'm done with everything. Like, that's the end. That is the end of our society. So, or at least it's the end of my society, because I don't want to be in a world where that's the case. Anyway, hopefully it doesn't come to that. Boy, things just took a dark turn. That was a joke. Was joking. Adult toy collectors like Marantz.
Okay, so let's start with Monday, June 19th. The market is closed for the Juneteenth holiday, which means many of you will be off and can get your asses over to the theater to see a flick.
What?
Trading.
Who in the world has tomorrow off of work? Who in the world has Juneteenth off of work? Did I miss something here? Did I miss something? It is a federal holiday, I guess. I guess if you work for the government. It's only been a holiday for 2 years. It's only been a holiday, federal holiday for 2 years. And I'm not saying anything. I'm not judging or evaluating anything. I'm just simply saying. Out in the real world, we got to work tomorrow. Okay? Just saying. In the real world, people have to work. Actually, I mean, it was first celebrated in 1866, but it was made a federal holiday in 2021. Let's see. Yeah. So, but certainly, yeah, what I want to do is I want to go to a movie. Yeah, that's it.
June 20th, and at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we'll get a look at housing starts, and then at 11:45 a.m., New York Fed President John Williams will be speaking. On Wednesday, June 21st, we'll get the special master's report in the AMC Allegheny case. At 10 a.m., Fed Chair testifies before the House.
Oh, boy.
On Thursday, June 22nd, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we'll get a look at initial jobless claims. At 10 a.m., existing home sales. Fed Chair Powell will continue his testimony before the Senate, and also U.S. leading economic indicators will be released. Fast forward a bit to Tuesday, June 27th, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. We'll get a look at durable goods orders. Then at 9, S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index. And at 10, new home sales and consumer confidence. On Wednesday, June 28th, we're going to hear the exceptions to the special master's report in the Allegheny AMC stockholder litigation. Also, that morning, we're going to get advanced retail and wholesale inventories. On the following day, Thursday the 29th, 8:30 a.m., initial jobless claims again, and then at 10, pending home sales. Now, if you look carefully at the court schedule, it reads, if the parties wish to keep June 29th and 30th for the settlement hearing, I propose and ask you to confer on the following schedule. So, as of right now, June 29th, Thursday, and June 30th, Friday, is when we're going to get the settlement hearing. Also, very busy day that morning.
I thought it was said that don't expect a ruling on those days, or don't expect a hearing on those days or something. But that's what's here. Anyway, I don't know if this is the latest thing, but
and spending. We're going to get PCE. We're going to get the final consumer sentiment numbers, but also our big movie on the last day of the quarter drops, Indiana Jones. I don't care if you're a yes voter. I don't care if you're a no voter. No matter what the outcome, it would be better if we have explosive top-line earnings. Let's blow out this day, this week, this.
But that's
this month and this quarter by
it doesn't
showing up on June 30th for Indiana Jones. Guys, take a
It says right here, actually, also it says, I have committed to delivering a written opinion on the settlement terms rather than a bench ruling at the hearing. So a June 28th deadline for exceptions should not meaningfully slow my ruling. Alternatively, we can move the hearing back. So I don't think that I don't think anything's gonna be found out.
On June 30th for Indiana Jones. Guys, take a look at the revenue chart over the past 5 years for AMC. I need you to understand that we need AMC common over $5 a share, but more importantly, we have to get our top line revenue back up and over the pre-pandemic numbers. The only place we can beat the predatory hedge funds is where they can't cheat, and that's at the box office. It costs a lot of money and time to develop new revenue streams. So that's why my focus is on top line numbers instead of earnings per share. It's great that we now have popcorn, movie merchandise, and a brand.
Wait, hold on a second. I got to go back.
Is where they can't. Past 5 years for AMC. I need you to.
Crap.
Let's blow out this day, this week, this month, and this quarter by all showing up on June 30th for Indiana Jones.
Wow, extreme pumping.
Take a look at the revenue chart over the past 5 years for AMC. I need you to understand that we need AMC common over $5 a share, but more importantly, we have to get our top line revenue back up and over the pre-pandemic numbers. The only place we can beat the predatory hedge funds is where they can't cheat, and that's at the box office. It costs a lot of money and time to develop new revenue streams. So that's why my focus is on top line numbers instead of earnings per share. It's great that we now have popcorn, movie merchandise, and a branded credit card.
I don't know, Model 3 dude.
Diversify our business model. But at this particular time, where we are still not receiving the same number of movies to display from Hollywood, we need to gather together.
And guess what? Guess what? You're not going to. If this strike continues and further intensifies, like this, that's why I say this is, that's why you can't deal in, that's why we don't deal in certainties. And when people come in and start dealing in, purporting to deal in certainties, like these clowns, these Muppets, and they've got all these retail investors walking around talking about certainties, you show us that you are full of shit. You don't know what you're doing. You have no clue. You're wishing, hoping, and waiting. That's all you're doing. You're sitting there waiting for something that you think will happen, or that you are telling people will happen. I don't know if you actually think it or not. That will never happen. So, I mean, I don't know.
Revenue numbers.
Certainties are not, there's no room for certainties. The only thing that's certain is that there is no room for certainties. How about that?
KevDoggy32 on Twitter basically captured my mood for this video. F you. That is all. AMC and Ape. Oh, and
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Man, fuck you. I think you a bitch. You understand what I'm saying?
Are not going anywhere. So enjoy paying your cost to borrow fees. Fails to deliver before you go bankrupt. Have a lovely weekend. Apes. He's not.
Enjoy paying your cost to buy. I love this. You think hedge funds have to worry about this stuff? Are you kidding me now? Like, tell me that you're clueless without doing so. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, FTDs. Tell me you don't understand FTDs, but you don't have to tell me. You don't have to.
That far off, guys. And this is the big reason I made this video, guys. Flash and Elemental, they're not doing that hot, okay? We need a super blockbuster to close out the quarter, and that's what Indiana Jones is. If you look at 2019, they had 368 releases. Okay,
So
the entire year. But
this is what will save the third quarter. So what he's saying is the last day of the quarter, it all comes down to an 11th hour Hail Mary. It all comes down to the fact that you have to pump a movie starring a boomer. No offense, guys, but I can't imagine that everybody will be super excited for that. I'm not saying not a good actor, not saying that. And I'm not saying that I don't love baby boomers, because I do. But just think about it for a second. Not exactly the picture of sex appeal, and whatever. And I put Tom Cruise in a different category. So not talking about you guys, not talking about anybody here. But we could probably go back through previous movies and look and see, but I'm just going to speculate on it because there is no way to know. But what we do know is he's saying that it's we got to save the second quarter. Save the second quarter on the last day of the quarter with a movie that questionably will do anything close to what he wants to do it. It seems pretty flimsy to me. I mean, I'm sorry, but it seems pretty goddamn flimsy. So what happens when the second quarter is also a bust and you're not profitable second quarter and it's the same shit? What then? Oh, we got to blow out third quarter, guys. We got this movie coming. We got this movie coming. Yeah, I'm just saying, like that's why you can't deal in certainties. You can only deal in probabilities.
they were only averaging 8.8 million, right? 8.8 million per film. Now, today, this year, we've had 178 so far, okay? If you double that, we still won't be over 2019, but our average 12.7, almost 12.8 million per film. Our capture is bigger than it was in 2019, and that's because of the apes. So we need to make a statement. We need to make a statement now and blow the top line revenue through the roof and get some attention out there. Guys, do you see those 11 days highlighted on the bottom of the June calendar? I want you to know that beginning Tuesday, literally anything could happen. We don't have a...
How many? We haven't heard that before. I mean, this is groundbreaking. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. No, we've heard this before.
On the Allegheny AMC case, now Antara is getting dragged into court. We might see the Ripple XRP case with the SEC drop. Literally anything is possible as we close out this second quarter. What I need from you is to post this video on LinkedIn, post this video on Twitter, on Reddit. Get the word out that we are all going to blow up Indiana Jones on the 30th, that we are all going to go attend. We're going to bring people along. If we can't go, if we don't have an AMC near us, what we're going to do is buy something from the AMC movie merchandise website. I would encourage you all to please share this video, get the word out. Get your tickets, post them on Twitter, make sure you black out any personal information, and challenge every ape out there to do likewise. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button.
Hey, I want to thank you. Oh yeah, uh-huh. Yep. Now we have some, we have to go into another topic here. Um, um, yeah, a lot of history here. Oh, that's AMC, the TV. Finally, the petition you've been waiting for. I guess we can look at this one real quick, then we'll go to the other one.
Hey friends, welcome to Stocks and Crypto Play.
Hey friends.
AMC stock, we've got some big news. But by the way, I want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Also, we've got some big news on AMC going on right now. I just started just now, a few minutes ago, a petition for Judge Zern, the Honorable Judge Zern, requesting her to give us more time for people to object and to opt out of the settlement, the AMC settlement. Also, I put in there, I requested her basically to stop the reverse split and the APE to AMC implementation, okay? If you want a part of this, our community can step up now. Many of us say, hey, what can we do? We want to do something. We want to...
Change.org.
Now's your chance. I'm going to show you...
Here's the question. Is change.org more or less of a scam than AMC stock? I know, not apples and orange, not apples to apples. It's apples to grapes. Apples to grape nuts cereal. But curiously, change.org is a private corporation. I love that. They kept the .org. Why did they do that? Why? You tell me. No, you don't. Change.org became a for-profit company. It's not a nonprofit company. I mean, it's not even a nonprofit that generates profit. It is a for-profit company. They kept the .org. I love that. You have to. You have to. Can't change the branding. Can't change that branding. Okay.
I have the link in the community notes. I'm also going to pin it in the comments, and I'm going to show you right here what's going on with the...
What the hell?
Petition live, right here, live.
25, 0 views.
Okay, so hit like, subscribe, add notifications, share this video with a friend. Just text them this video. Share it on your social media as well. Whatever you have, Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. I don't know whatever people use. Okay, so here we go. Change.org, as you can see right here. I just posted it a few minutes ago. And in the upper left-hand corner, you can see change.org. I noticed they have it in a rainbow color. And I'm assuming that they have that rainbow color to honor God and to honor the rainbow where God said in the Bible, he said there, let me see, it was in Jesus.
No, let me stop you right there. Nope. It is to honor our LGBT friends as well as the allies who support them. And in case you're not hip to that, it's dudes with dudes and chicks with chicks and dudes who become chicks and all that kind of happy stuff. It's not to honor God. Very much on the contrary. So much irony wrapped up in that statement. Wow. It's to honor God, right? What a fucking dolt. All right.
And the rainbow appears in the cloud.
No. Bible verses are fucking prohibited here, unless I say them.
Let's get back to business here. It says AMC stock postcard scam. Evidence for the honorable.
Jesus Christ.
We already have 25 people that signed the.
Makes sense that he would. Well, anyway. Hiding in plain sight.
Petition
anyway.
Already. We just posted this. Thank you so much to those 25 people. High five to you guys. Now we've got this video going in our community.
So I guess that is how the Christian right spins and like redirects the rainbow in the LGBT theme. I don't know, but that's pretty ridiculous. I mean, these people If they actually, like, this is the thing, and I'm talking about right-wingers here, but I guess you could be talking about no, this applies to AMC Muppets as well. So this doubly applies to him, I guess, and a lot of the AMC people. If they actually put half of the effort into actually learning things rather than trying to come up with reasons why they're not wrong, they might actually get somewhere. They never fucking will get anywhere because they spend all their time trying to think of reasons and come up with creative ways to spin things to make them feel like they're not wrong. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. And if you actually admit that and try to learn what's right, like correct, what is correct, what is factually justifiable, you get way farther and you'll have more friends. People won't think that you're so retarded. God, I am so sick of these people.
Gonna step up. I can feel it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. They never watch this. I mean, most people don't watch this guy anyway. They don't. Most people don't because he is irrelevant. That's the thing. He is irrelevant.
Positive energy. I can sense the excitement from our team. Let's do this. Okay. So basically,
such positive energy that there's a rainbow.
Notes or pinned in these comments, right? You click the link and then it's going to open you up to something right here and you'll be able to sign. Okay. And I had to block out the names because I'm not allowed to put any names on YouTube because they'll just cancel my video, you know. So,
wrong. That's wrong. Nope. They won't cancel your video.
Right here, right?
They might demonetize your video, but you know, some of us don't care about that. Some of us don't care.
And then the more people that
look, Lynn, he's using the spoiler setting.
The more benefits we get. It says 25 more supporters to get to the next goal. I guess like each of people that sign, we get to a new goal.
God damn it.
And from what I understand is the more people that sign, the more promotion / advertisement money this company, change.org, will spend on promoting our petition. And we don't have a lot of time because the judge may be giving a ruling on June 30th. I think
So they're spending advertising money. That sounds legit to me.
So hopefully we can get to her. We can get her to see this petition, and we can get her to give us more time, or even better, just rule for us and cancel the reverse split and cancel the APE to AMC implementation. All right. So you've got it here, friends. You see it. Change.org. You have the link in my community notes. How do you get into those? Basically, what you do is you click into my channel, scroll to community notes. You'll see the link there, or look in the comments, and you'll see the link pinned at the top of my comments. Just as a red alert, there's a lot of scammers that will post fake links. Make sure it says stocks and crypto plays, and there's a lot of fake stocks and crypto plays that reply to the comments that aren't actually me. Make sure it's mine. It'll have my stocks and crypto plays logo, and it'll say under there stocks and crypto plays because people copy my logo too. So be careful. And make sure you get to this and you sign it. And we need big numbers, friends. Okay. Now, if you know any other AMC YouTubers that are no voters like us, that are actual real shareholders that aren't being paid by the hedge funds, get a hold of them. Tell them to
listen to that cult language
on their channel. Okay. Because we need as many people as we can to sign this as quick as we can. All right, friends. And then I'll give you an update on it very soon, probably again tomorrow.
Real shareholders. Real shareholders. Yeah, there's fake shareholders out there. They hold fake shares. They hold fake shares.
Some point
I'm probably looking at a lot of these fakes right now, to be honest with you. Want to see them? I think I actually got a fair amount of fakes here. Hold on. I'll show you. Almost. They're right in here. They're right here. All these lines, these are all the fake shareholders that I'm seeing. And, you know, might as well just throw in and this one too. And this one too. Well, you got to spell it again. And this one too. You got to spell it correctly, but and this one too. Those are the fake shareholders. As far as I'm concerned, that I can see, they're not real apes. Thank God.
Update you on the progress. So let's make a big push here. Like I said, and
big push.
In my poll that I did in my channel, we had 1,600 people
push,
and about 80% of them, I think it was, somewhere around there.
Okay, so that's brain dead. Okay, so whoa. Let's see. What I need to do is market moves with Tony. Now we're gonna have to abbreviate this.
Let me give you an example.
Well, it absolutely does vineyards if you are an illegal alien and you're holding fake shares. That's specifically outlawed. The SEC has been very clear about that.
Hello and welcome to the show. Today,
You have to be a citizen.
5th, 2023. Let me start
You don't have to be a citizen. I'm just
by saying that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This information is intended for entertainment and education. Do I think that's the case? I don't know. I don't really think that's the case. On purpose only. I'm Tony. This is Market Moves with Tony, and just thought I'd say hi. It's been a while since I last made a video. So,
wait, is this it? No, that's not it. Where is it? It's live. No. Here it is. Sorry.
hello, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Hopefully you can hear me. Anyone's out there?
There it is.
Oh, hang on. Let me just let people know that I'm out here. Okay, live now. Let's see. Here is the stream. Copy. And let's see. Tony. I'm a terrible tweeter. Okay. Let me see if I can edit this. I don't know. Delete. Going. Hang. MMTLP. Hashtag. Hydrocarbons. Hello.
Hello.
Don't know. I'll see what's going on.
I think it's hilarious, Model 3 dude. It makes this guy cracks me up.
Okay, close. Well, I was talking to some friends of mine, and
Here we go.
A call from Will. The Will I'm referring to, of course, is Will Stewart. Will Stewart is he has a whole bunch of shares, over 17 million. I'm not sure how many, but he's got a lot of shares. He's got a ton of shares. He's the whale that he's one of two whales that everyone likes to talk about. Of course, there are three large shareholders out there, or the three largest are of course, Greg McCabe, Will Stewart, and David. Okay. So anyway, Will gives me a call, and he says he wants to talk to me about some stuff that happened. And so he gives me a call, and of course he says he wants to share his information with me and my friends. And I got permission from Will to tell everyone here about what's going on. So this is why I'm making this live stream. Okay, I tend to be an absent-minded professor, and I tend to forget things. So I figure I might as well tell you guys before I forget. Okay, I'm not a financial advisor. Will is not a financial advisor. Of course, all of this information is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. So here's the thing. We're all MMTLP shareholders. We know what's been going on. It's been 6 months now. Our shares have been frozen. And you know, so okay, let me start stuff off first. Okay, so
so we're now 4 minutes in. Now we're going to start it off. Okay,
Will's
good.
a nice guy. Excellent.
But I feel a butt coming.
It's good to know.
Feel a butt.
Intelligent, etc. Right? Okay. So I got in touch with Will thanks to Roller.
Maybe not.
Roller Pigeon said Will wanted to give me a call, so she gave him my number. We talked. He told me his situation. I told him my situation. All that, whatever. Right?
And we'll get to the proof. We'll get to prove they aren't short and Michael Jordan and all that stuff. We'll get there.
So we're all in the same boat about MMTLP. And what Will told me, which he has then further stated that I could tell you guys, is that he is. Oh wait, hang on. Is this? Can you tell it?
Oh my God!
The screen is backwards here. It says Let me see. Is the writing on my screen reversed or is it the right way? Quick question. Do you know? Anyone? Okay, anyway, so let me go on with the Will story. So
you got to give more time than that. I mean, you got more of a delay in the stream than that, even if you're on ultra low latency. Come on, man. You should know that.
We've spoken all that. And he's fed up. He's pissed off. He thinks that actually they will have to rebalance. Okay, good. It's normal. Okay, great. Thank you. So oh, hang on.
Jesus Christ.
I'm in top chat for some reason. Switching to live chat. Okay, good. Screen is fine. Thank you. Excellent. Great. Okay, so Will is fed up. He's pissed off. He figures that FINRA.
Oops. Oh, crap.
Nexpertise carbons to trade willingly.
That was. Oops.
Obstreperous. They are not helpful. And they don't want it to trade. And I have to admit, I kind of agree with him. I mean, I don't think that FINRA wants it to trade. FINRA has not been helpful. FINRA.
Wait a minute. I was messing with the video and I like changed the speed here and I think I took the focus off of what he said.
Obstreperous. They are.
Okay, I'm going to go back.
So Will is fed up. He's pissed off. He figures that FINRA will never allow Nexpertise carbons to trade willingly. FINRA is obstreperous. They are not helpful. And they don't want it to trade. And I have to admit, I kind of agree with him. I mean, I don't think that FINRA wants it to trade.
But wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Okay, FINRA doesn't want it to trade. All right, I get the point here. That's what you and Will think, whoever Will is. But another part of this narrative, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but another part of this MMTLP narrative is that MMTLP was not supposed to trade initially. The ticker symbol, the stock symbol MMTLP was not to be traded. So now you're using as another point, oh, well, FINRA clearly doesn't want it to trade. Which one is it? Now you want it to trade, but FINRA doesn't. Before, apparently FINRA did want it to, and you guys did as well because you traded it. Some people did, bought into it, whatever. So what exactly is the? I don't get this.
Has not been helpful. FINRA, it says they're on the side of shareholders and investors. I don't see that to be the case. I don't see them helping us. And Will is sick and tired of FINRA. And
helping doesn't mean that you make a profit. Helping doesn't mean doing whatever you can to favor one group of market participants over another group. That's not helping. That's not fair. That's not transparency. I'm sorry, but what?
Right now, his contention, and to a large part, I agree with him. Okay, his contention is that he's got his shares at the broker, or he's got placeholders for shares at the broker. We are of the belief that the brokers do not have enough shares, of course, to hand out all the shares if need be, right? They cannot reconcile there's not enough shares to go around for all the accounts in the brokerage. For each broker, there's not enough shares to go around for each account. Okay, there's more longs than there are shares that were allocated, or there are more long positions.
There's not
allocated, and that's because
that's why I say that's okay though. That's not a sign of anything illegal. When you short a share, when you short one share of a company, you have created a new long position that didn't exist before. It doesn't increase the float, and it doesn't have a dilutive effect, theoretically, because it's short term. It's temporary. Let's say that it's temporary. It's not permanent. But let's say, creates a new long position. that person goes to sell or something, they can sell freely. The original holder of the share that was borrowed and then sold again, or borrowed and then sold, that person is free to sell their position at whatever the prevailing market price is. So there's nothing illegal or nefarious about what he's describing. That's the normal function of short selling. And I don't know how this got missed. I don't know how they're still grifting based on a gross lack of understanding. But yes, he's absolutely correct. There are more long positions. And that's why I said this in the chat just a few minutes ago. Positions are not one-to-one to shares. They never have been. Positions are not one-to-one with shares. So, you know, in other words, there could be more shares held than were issued by the company, quote unquote. But the reality is, you don't own a share anyway. You never actually own it, even if you, quote unquote, have it. You have a contractual equity exposure to it. And this is reality. This is true. You don't own the share. You have a contractually conferred ownership right to the share. And that is independent of whether a share is fungible or not. It is independent of whether you have a unique share. It doesn't matter. Like I said, remember, if they want to if you want to give somebody your money, they'll take it. That's why it's like this, partially. Because essentially you are trading with another market participant. Someone's on the other side of the trade. In the case of the short sell, in the case of the share that you buy that was sold by a short seller, the short seller is on the other side of the trade. They are selling you something that they borrowed. But there is a share that is being worked with, not physically. And that's where it kind of becomes silly at some point. It's like, why does it even matter how many shares there are? Let people just give you money and make it like an open-ended GoFundMe. Well, that wouldn't really work. But you know, let's see here. Any evidence? No, there's no evidence. And I mean, it doesn't really suck. Because if we didn't have this function, you would have, I mean, we know this from experience, from seeing other markets and from even seeing in our markets when short selling is messed with, essentially, when they mess with short selling, restrict it and all this kind of stuff, markets actually are worse. Spreads are wider. Liquidity is lower. So beyond the fact that somebody is speculating to the downside, though the fact that somebody is offering those shares in the market increases liquidity, which lowers the spread, which actually increases the quality of the market for even for somebody who's long. So, you know, don't disparage short sellers. A lot of the times, you know, you might be buying a share, you don't know who's selling it to you, and there is a lot of risk involved in short selling, of course, but you know, there's a lot of risk, which is also another reason why short squeezes aren't really that common, especially when people are talking about wanting to create one in a particular stock. So I'm tying together a few things I've said already, but Lynn says hold an interest in, not hold ownership of. And that's, you know, that's true. But it's all kind of moot, really, because none of this trading actually impacts the company at all. None of this trading impacts the company. Doesn't really matter. So in that sense, short sellers cannot bankrupt companies. It just doesn't work like that. And more often than not, you have short sellers reacting to something rather than fomenting it. That's the second time I've used the word foment.
Each broker is allocated a net position, which is based on continuous net settlement. The allocations are per DTC.
And
Many brokers have short positions, and as a result of those short positions, they don't have as many shares to hand out to longs, and that's the situation we've been in, right? So
I
the
don't know if
belief
that's
is,
true.
and I agree,
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think it is.
that as far as longs are concerned, it's not really the shorts or whatever that matter to us. We are owed shares, and we don't think that there's enough shares that the brokerages have.
But the problem, and this is what the court said, you have no evidence to actually suggest that. You have no evidence to support that. So you are speculating and you're saying, well, we think it's this. Allow us to go on a fishing expedition to with our rare earth magnet to see what we can pull out of the river. And then we can spin that and try to grift to the judge why we should be rich. And I'm sorry, dude, it just doesn't work like that. If you don't have any evidence, if you don't have any evidence, you don't have a valid claim, you're not going to enjoy having the protections that would afford you in order to investigate it. You have to show cause, and you haven't shown that, believe it or not.
Right. So that being the case, if the brokerages don't have enough shares, Will has said he decided this week after the Mark Basile decision by the judge to not release the blue sheets. He's as far as he's concerned, he says, I'm fed up. I mean, Will is fed up, and he has decided to go to AST with all of his shares. And not only has he gone to AST with all of his shares, which are almost 20 million shares. Okay. Will also has.
I don't know what that is. I don't care.
His friends to get into AST, and I can't say I disagree with him. I can't say it's a bad move either. Will is of the opinion that this will never be trading as a result of FINRA allowing it to trade. And as far as he's concerned, he's going to take his shares to AST. And that's just what he's doing. Okay. I'm not advising anyone to take their shares to AST. Will's not advising you to take your shares to AST. Everyone is free to do anything they want on their own. This is just what Will's doing, and I'm relaying that information, and I will be doing something similar as well, too. And so let's see. So he's moving his shares to AST. I actually had to write this down because I'm like an absent-minded professor, and I would forget. And so Will and he believes that they don't have enough shares. I believe they don't have enough shares, and the belief is that with all the if enough people move enough of their shares to AST, the brokers will not be able to deliver those shares, right? And if that's the case, it will come to a head. And at some point, the brokers will be forced. Do I think that's the case? I don't know. I don't really think that's the case. I don't really think that's the case to reconcile and close their short positions, right? But however, they can't close their short positions because everything is stuck, right? Everything's stuck because of the fact that you can't trade these positions, right? You can't trade the positions. Why can't you trade the positions? It's because a couple things happened. First off, FINRA pulled the U3 halt, and NextBridge shares, which are dividend, were never set up for trading. Let me repeat, NextBridge shares, which are dividend to MMTLP shareholders, were never set up for trading. So I've always said, hey, look, fine, you pulled the U3 halt, give me my NextBridge shares. Because I don't believe they can give everyone their NextBridge shares. Well, what they did was to put all these placeholder things around, and as a result, everyone has placeholders. And the placeholders are basically obligations from the broker to give you NextBridge hydrocarbon shares, right? They're obligations to give you NextBridge hydrocarbon shares, and they cannot meet their obligations. If enough people, I'm not encouraging anyone to do this, okay? Let me be clear. I'm not encouraging anyone to do this. I will be transferring some shares myself of my own shares.
Oh,
Will is transferring all of his shares, and he's helping his friends to transfer their shares. Okay, you have to fill out. You've got to fill out paperwork. It's the whole thing. So he's gone through this process. He actually contacted me in the middle of the week, and he told me
so regarding Mullen, the top is the stock price. The bottom is the number of shares outstanding. This is 281,000 here. 164,000, 164K. I don't know how visible that is. Roughly. Back in here. Over here. 126. 281. And I'm just going to make it 000. Well, we got to do it right. So let's see, what's the ratio there? What is that ratio? Let's see. Okay, it's about, oh, actually, yeah, okay, 164. Yeah, it's 1,000th. Is that right? It's 1,000 times. Is that right? Yeah. I mean, well, it's under 1,000 times. So in terms of the price, then, I mean, just as a, just back of the Windows calculator math here. I just used 422. I guess it's, not really the high, but okay, 422, 420. And is that a coincidence? 420? I don't know. Right now, you have 1,000 times more shares. So should the price be 1,000th the price? I don't know. I'm not saying it should be, but if it should be, if it should be, that would mean that the price should be 4 cents per share. 1/1000th of $420 is 4.2 cents per share. So in that sense, and I know, I'm gonna get roasted for this one, but Mullen is overvalued. Mullen is absolutely overvalued. So this is not short sellers. This is the thing. Everybody wants to blame short sellers. And I'm sure that there are plenty of short sellers on this. But this is the company. I mean, hell, they doubled the number of shares in the last 6 months. Let's keep it real.
He was doing this, and I said, "Wow."
If we're going to keep it real, why are we listening to this guy? That's what I want to know.
Are you sure this is what you want to do? And he said, "Yeah."
We don't have too much more time.
Committed. Okay.
I don't have too much more time,
And
so
I can't really disagree with him. If I had hope that FINRA would bring these shares out to trading, then that's something. But Will is currently going. He said he's going to transfer his shares. This means that his broker, which is TD Ameritrade, is going to have problems if enough people move their shares out, because they're not going to be able to deliver their shares. So along the way, I wanted to figure out how much of a problem this is for brokers, right? So along the way, I figured I would do some math, and this is what, let me see if I can show you.
Oh boy, math. This is going to be good.
Make myself small over here. And hopefully, because you don't really need to see me, I'm not important. This is the math that came up. This is kind of interesting.
I think that's
spreadsheets based on Russ Race's data.
That's quotable.
Russ Race did a really good job. He Russ Race did an awesome job. He got a survey, right? Here's this. Scroll over. This is okay. So so Russ Race put his survey results up on justretailinvestors.com. Okay, Just Retail Investors. If you look, he's got let me see if I can make this bigger. Make this 150%. Okay. So it's justretailинvestors.com. He's got share count, all the stuff, and you can fill out your.
Where did this come from?
Carbon share count. And
oh, great. So somebody with a private proprietary share count. How many shares are there total? Shares counted 43 million. Over 100K not verified, 32 million. Large verified holders, 58 million. Okay. Shares to acquire 100% working interest, 27 million. Insider derivative, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Collected 9.77% of 65,000 accounts. Guess what? Statistically insignificant.
And enter the survey info. This is just
wow.
a screenshot of that.
So they're going down the same brain dead path that the AMC apes went down. This is the same bullshit. Trying to estimate share counts based on numbers that people hold, using averages the wrong fucking way. This is an Asian guy. Now, pardon my stereotyping here, but what the fuck? Okay? This is not what I expected.
On the shares per broker, you will see shares per. Okay, let me click it. Let me just click the link. So I'll show you. It's probably easier that way. Okay, open.
All I got to say is,
okay.
Would a woke soy boy say that? I don't think so.
So
maybe. I actually don't know.
Thank you, Russ Ray.
I just wanted to say woke, and I wanted to say soy boy.
This is just me. Okay. So here is the Russ Race data. This is the website, justretailInvestors.com. Here's the survey. You can fill out the survey.
Okay, I'm getting bored. Okay, so we get it.
Percentage of shares that are counted, right? If we take this number over here, being 30,
say the number. Say the number, Tony. See, this is another thing these grifters do. They don't want to actually say the number. If we take this number here, which is the number of percentage that we've counted, no, you've counted less than 10 fucking percent, which is statistically nothing. Okay, it's nothing. You cannot make a freaking model based on that. Per Russ Race's survey, how many times do you have to hear this? That's not legitimate. If you're trying to make markets legitimate, this is not how you do it.
No sounds.
Still talking about this. Still talking about this. Still talking about that. Still talking about that. Wow, that was the most underwhelming video that I have ever seen coming from this guy. Abuse of statistics. Statistical abuse. Wow. This aggression will not stand. This aggression will not stand. Charts say this date will be interesting for AMC stock. Let me stop you right there, partner. Charts do not say that days will be interesting for any stock, okay? It doesn't. The chart doesn't tell you that. Not the way you think it does. It's literally the opposite of what everyone tells you is the case. I'm going to find it on Fidelity. Because I want it to be in black and white, or maybe in Fidelity's case, green and white, right? Let's get it here. Right, I think it's just on the regular page. This information, past performance is no guarantee of future results. It's even in bold. In general, the bond market is volatile, and fixed income securities carry interest rate risk. Stock markets are volatile and can decline significantly in response to adverse issuer, political, regulatory, market, or economic developments. Foreign markets can be more volatile than U.S. markets due to increased risks of adverse issuer, all of which are magnified in emerging markets. Okay. Do you show anyone you might like? Yes. Not with AMC though. I mean, it, it it's just not there. Um, hmm. Who could it be? And really, honestly, look at this clown. The charts and data say we are about to do this. No, no, the charts don't say that. The data doesn't say that. Nothing says that. You are saying that. You are saying that. Zero data is saying that. Zero fucking data. The charts and fundamentals all say the same thing, MOASS. The fundamentals say MOASS. Oh, okay. Didn't realize that. The reality is the people that I would like, people I might like, they're not as interesting as the people that I hate. And I don't think there's as much to learn. There's more to learn from the people that are terrible, quite frankly. So speaking of people that are terrible,
what is going on? I hope everyone.
we'll do this, then we'll go back, then we'll look at Michael Jordan, and then it'll probably be time for me to eat dinner, and we'll see then.
Everyone's having a great Saturday.
But I just saw this because AMC FTX fraud getting swept under the rug.
Super hot outside today. Gonna go out to the bar and have a few drinks on the rooftop today, but wanted to make this video because on the back burner, I don't know if you guys remember, I'm sure most of us do because we'll talk about it a little bit in this video. There was the FTX AMC coin that some people don't think that had any impact on AMC, but remember the AMC token that FTX had was supposedly backed 1-for-1 with AMC, an AMC share, right? So FTX claimed that each token of each AMC token that they had was backed by a real share of AMC. So I think that that has some significance to it.
Did they?
Whatever.
Is that what they claimed? Are we talking about FTX US? Are we talking about FTX International? What exactly are we talking about here? I'm not sure.
You feel if it doesn't, that's great, but I'm just telling you what FTX claimed that it had, right? And they claimed that each token had a 1-for-1 backed security, which was AMC, right? So that being said, they're talking about dropping all of the charges against Sam Bankman, and I wanted to make this video because I think
good for him. They should.
What some of us may know. I think there's a lot of companies out there that
I don't know if they should or not, but good for him.
Operating how FTX did, and if you guys don't remember, FTX knowingly was running a scheme. They had a hedge fund and, they were a broker for crypto or whatever you want to call them, but they were also running a hedge fund and they were using, they were selling securities that they never actually went out and purchased, kind of like some other companies we know do that.
Citadel. I knew he was going to say that.
$70 billion and, securities sold, not yet.
Once he set that up, it could only go one place. These guys are so predictable. It's hilarious.
Yeah, pretty interesting. FTX only had a couple billion, right? Imagine if Citadel Securities went underwater, how devastating that would be. Because we all seen what happened to cryptocurrencies when FTX went under, right? So that being said, though, they're talking about dropping charges. It's really under the rug. Most people probably don't even know about that. But the reason I want to bring this up is because, I talk about all the time, regulators, like, look at the pictures that our regulators, our government, Maxine Waters, she's hugging Sam Bankman like it's her little fucking brother. I mean, these people are just so tied to each other, in bed with each other, getting paid off. And Sam Bankman of FTX, he was a big donor, big Democratic donor. And I know,
he was a donor on both sides.
Too, but it was.
It doesn't matter. This guy,
whatever it was. But the reality is,
yeah. See, you don't even know. That's a typical ignorant fucking Republican piece of shit. If I can be frank, this is exactly what you get when you get when that's exactly what you get. Oh, I don't know what it is, but it's more Democrat because Democrats are bad. Let's allow Frankie to say it. And I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm so far off the scale you don't even want to know. But let's just do this.
Man, fuck you. I think you a bitch. You understand what I'm saying?
Do you? Do you understand what I'm saying?
You got a guy who's running a Ponzi scheme that's supposed to be regulated, that's supposed to be reporting data to companies like the SEC. There was hearings for them, and
did they? Were they supposed to? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, how ironic! It's like the same fucking thing, just like Bernie Madoff did. It's the same thing.
Not even close.
That we've seen happen time and time again.
Not the same thing.
They just go under when people find out too much. They have to, do what they got to do, right? To keep their reputation alive, for the public. But we're seeing the same thing happen over and over and over again. And, we have congressmen, congresswomen who knowingly are tied and connected tightly to these criminals, that are scalping off the top. And I think it's some pretty significant stuff taking place. I don't know about you, but, for me seeing this, it's pretty apparent that, they're either going to drop the charges against him because he could talk and potentially, pull up some stuff on some of these politicians, or, it's a cost of doing business. Yep, let him go. We made our money. I don't know what it is, but the reality is, the reason I wanted to make this video is because, remember, we have a company that was selling AMC tokens and I'm not trying to bring this all back up because obviously this is behind us now. But
that's what you're doing.
A company that claimed they had a 1-for-1, back token with AMC, right? A one, for every token, they went out and bought an AMC share, and we know that's not true. And how many of these brokerage firms or hedge funds borrowed, knowing that Sam Bankman's not actually going out and buying AMC shares, but you can play the system and play stupid.
But you can't borrow.
It's
the crypto market. A tokenized anything is a different market. It is a different market than the stock market. And you can set up something, some kind of arbitrage trading algorithm that will essentially make the real stock be affected by what happens in the crypto market. But you cannot borrow a token and then use it in the equity market. It does not work like that. It does not work like that. That is brain fucking dead. Just think about it. It would be like trying to use a Ford key in a GM vehicle, for example, if your vehicle still has a key. It's not even going to go in the fucking key switch. It's not even going to go in the ignition. They're totally different. In a similar way, what the DTCC does, how the stock market works and is settled and cleared, it's not the same as a decentralized, by definition. So it shows that you not only don't understand crypto, it shows that you don't understand the stock market, because you're talking about this as if they were literally compatible. You're trying to use a Macintosh application disk on an IBM PC computer before 2009 or whenever. It's not going to work. Before they became compatible, no, it didn't work. So I'm not sure what the fuck he's smoking out here in the forest today or whenever this was yesterday. I think he probably drinks Zimas. Yeah. Just a young buck still wiping his nose. I mean, come on. Yeah. Don't you know? If you're going to do blow or speed before you start recording a video, get all your sniffing and your, all that kind of stuff out of the way before you turn the camera on. I mean, why do you guys think I don't have a camera?
Some very interesting.
Just kidding.
And
Just
that's why,
kidding.
you know, the purpose of this video is because there's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, maybe our government doesn't know what's going on with AMC. Like, guys, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what's going on.
Trust you, bro. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty
when
sure.
Biden
Trust
made
me,
all the
bro.
shit
I'm from Michigan.
that
Trust me.
he did. I'm pretty sure
No,
that our government
never.
knew what was happening. FTX, pretty sure that the government knew what was happening. Who else? You know, Citadel Securities having 60.
I'm not pretty sure.
The way Citadel Securities is operating right now with $65 billion in assets sold, not yet purchased, like, however you want to, glorify that or, make it sound like something else, like, you're trying to make a Ponzi scheme sound like a legal, business. Like, you're selling something you're not going out and buying. Like that.
The stock market is a Ponzi scheme. It is a Ponzi scheme, but not for the reasons you're saying it is. So I don't really see the point here. And I mean, every financial institution has things that they've sold that they have not purchased. I mean, I've looked into this extensively and I've done many videos and live stream segments on it. It's a nothing burger. It is a complete nothing burger. What it shows, again, is that you know nothing about accounting, know nothing about financial accounting. You, excuse me. You don't even have the resourcefulness. There we go. To even go look into it. You don't even think that you should go look into it. You listen to Donahue George's brain dead video or CSI's brain dead video and you know about it. No, you don't. You didn't even take the most basic steps to verify something. Because when you start doing that, and I went beyond that, I downloaded the generally accepted accounting principles manual and actually looked at the line item. It's a standardized line item. Standardized line item. Securities sold, not yet purchased. Every fucking statement has it. That's how short positions are reported on financial statements. That's all it is. That's all it is. But do these clowns care? No. They have that dumbass armchair understanding of everything. It's absurd. It's like hearing a preacher talk about history. I'm sorry, but no. I'm like, and you're misinforming people. Do not talk about history. Like, your shit is not factually backed up. You don't have facts to back it up. Quit pretending you do.
Scheme. If Citadel had to cover and go through and buy all of those securities that they sold.
Well, you know what? If, that's a big if. If this, if that, not the reality. I mean, imagine being this dependent on an if that you don't even understand. I don't even know. I don't think he understands the degree to which he doesn't understand. This guy is so fucking lost. And it is going to be the most spectacular blow up and subsequent meltdown that we've seen. I think it will easily double or triple Craig's meltdown in terms of excitement. And I can't wait. It does not deserve to happen to anybody else. I can't wait. We got big things planned for you, Scavenger. Big things.
They don't have the
fucking clown
to do that. And to me, that sounds like a Ponzi scheme because if you or I
mean, learn about the fractional reserve banking system. What will you think about that? Holy fuck! Did you not take fucking civics class? Holy fuck!
They'll go to court, whatever, but at the end of the day, they never get in trouble, and they knowingly keep doing these things, and that's why people keep doing it. Because there's no repercussions for it. They can just continuously keep doing the same thing over and over again. And that's where we're at now. We have a lot of...
Because that's the way the system works. That's how it's set up.
I'm very embarrassed as an American that they're here and that they...
I'm very embarrassed as an American that you're here. How about that?
Represent this country that people have died for. We have terrorists.
Oh my God.
That are in office right now, and it's really.
Lynn, did you hear that? We have terrorists that are in office right now. Listen to this.
That they're here and that they represent this country that people have died for. We have terrorists running, that are in office right now, and it's really messed up. But that's my Saturday video, kind of a rant, but kind of some significant stuff if you guys haven't seen that, about good old Sam Bankman, some pretty funny stuff. And remember, we had Fannie Pack and a lot of these YouTubers out there really pressing FTX, paid off to press something. And maybe at the time they didn't know, it was a Ponzi scheme, but, these guys pressed and were getting paid under the table, and it was some pretty insane stuff taking place. So, and nobody talks about it anymore. So pretty interesting things. Again, the reason I want to talk about this is because when you look at companies like Citadel, and I know I keep saying their name, it's not slander. This is all public information you can go out and find for yourself.
All right. Some of it is, some of it isn't. But I was just looking into this Sam Bankman-Fried thing here. U.S. offers to drop some charges for now against Sam Bankman-Fried, at least for now, if the judge agrees to try him later on those charges. I'm just saying, this is what it says here. The offer to sever 5 of the 13 charges followed a ruling earlier this week in Bahamas that allows Sam Bankman-Fried to challenge additional charges. Bank fraud and an allegation that he bribed the Chinese. Severing those counts seems to be appropriate given the developments. Okay. So, who was pleaded not guilty is scheduled to stand trial in October, would not proceed with the new charges unless the government of the Bahamas consented. He was extradited from the Bahamas. He has argued that the U.S. government breached its extradition treaty with the Bahamas by filing additional charges against him months later, including bank fraud and an allegation he paid $40 million bribe to the Chinese government to unfreeze a trading account. We think dismissal of those counts would be the better outcome. Yeah. So there's that. Judge allows FTX founder to go to trial only on wire fraud, political contribution charges for now. Judge splits charges against Sam Bankman-Fried, sets 2 criminal trials. See, this is the thing. There is some truth in what he said. There is some truth in what this Muppet said. But there's probably less truth than distruth. Because, yeah, while it is seems to be the case that they have they're withdrawing these new charges. I mean, in the first article, it says that if there was an if tied to it, unless the government of the Bahamas consented, because you have to, I mean, as much as we think this guy's guilty and that he belongs, as they say, under the jail, we have to, you have to do things right. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a lawyer. No truth in how he said it. Yeah, that's, yeah. What he hears, because he is a headline only reader. See, this is the problem with being an ignorant headline only reader who doesn't take the effort, doesn't have the curiosity even to actually just do a basic Google search. And this is so inexcusable. I mean, I guarantee you that he spent more time in front of the camera bloviating about this shit than he has actually doing research. And I mean, I think anybody would tell you when you're doing stuff like this, pre-production, planning, research, writing, all that stuff, that takes way longer than actually getting in front of the camera and running your mouth. Anybody can do that, as we found out, because I'm here.
Kenny G, if you're watching this, everybody can look.
Oh yeah, he is.
Of all the fines you get, all of the.
Oh, he's watching this.
Sold, not yet purchased. Like, it's all right there. This happens knowingly, and our government allows these things to happen knowingly. So, just wanted to make this video, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
It doesn't matter whether it's Google or Yahoo or if you go to the library. I don't care. But you have to make some effort to look into things. I mean, I guess unless you believe that there's a massive oh, you're like Google then. No, of course I don't. Of course I don't. No, absolutely not. I hate Google. These are all herd stocks. I have no interest in trading herd stocks. They're overvalued. They're way overvalued. What am I trying to do here? I am trying to get to, oh yes. Ah yes. I haven't even watched this yet. One stock that I do like, one AMC, I'm sorry, one YouTuber that I do like.
Hi guys.
To simply allow him to introduce himself and his wonderful level of logic and critical thinking is Marantz Rants. How you doing, Marantz? Millionaire? How you doing, millionaire? All right, let's go.
Welcome back to Marantz Rants. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. This is a one-take session, no edits, no cuts, about Michael Jordan.
I love how proud he is too. You can do one-take cuts. Only you, man. Only you.
Connecting the dots, part 24, guys. So fitting, Kobe Bryant's number. But I'm not even going to show Michael Jordan on the screen. I'm just going to show you guys how I feel you can connect the dots to private equity pretty much on everything. They run the world. And right now, are they cashing out? Let's see exactly what's going on. So let's dive into this, guys. For those of you guys that don't know, the headline here, this is by Adrian Wojciechowski. I believe that's how you say his name. I don't know, Wojciechowski. I don't know how to say his name. I don't watch ESPN too much. But Michael Jordan is selling majority stake of the Charlotte Hornets to Gabe Plotkin and Rick Schnell Group for approximately $3 billion. The valuation leak sources tell ESPN. Okay, so Gabe Plotkin's on the left. Rick Schnell, I think that's how you say it.
Sorry.
Let's talk about Gabe Plotkin first. You guys know I did videos about him years ago. Maybe 2 years ago, I started making videos about Gabe Plotkin. And why? Because he is the chief investment officer, the founder of a hedge fund that he named after his grandfather called Melvin Capital. Now, Melvin Capital bet on GameStop. They also bet on a lot of things. Like this individual, just per se, Gabe Plotkin, he became a billionaire by betting on the short of JCPenney. So he's creating a program. He's creating this whole market for himself as far as shorting stocks. And he shorted GameStop, and you guys know what happened there. It went out.
I mean, the thing is, like, this is the thing. Like, this is a brain dead narrative. Gabe Plotkin did not create the short position. Like, he didn't create the short thesis on JCPenney. He saw an opportunity, and he took it. He didn't create the short thesis on GameStop. GameStop closed all of their stores because of a fucking worldwide pandemic. And the way our system is set up, the stock's going to take a hit. So people capitalized on that. It was a good trade. It was the right trade if you were trading. Until the apes came in and basically manipulated the market higher, not based on any type of fundamentals, but based on, social media rumors. I mean, and imagine now, these people are this uninformed now. Imagine how uninformed they were in 2021. January of 2021, no less. Yeah.
Complete opposite way, and he lost his ass. Reportedly, he lost
just investors. who are irrelevant to the company. Let me just add that in there. Just investors who are irrelevant to the company. Because are they, what are they doing? I mean, and I'm extending this over to AMC too. They don't want AMC, for example, to raise capital to operate day to day. They'll do anything to prevent the company from doing what it needs to do because they believe that they're owed something. I mean, that is the definition of a shitty shareholder. In my book, that is a definition of that. So, yeah, are investors right to do that? Probably not. But they're irrelevant unless they bought shares from the company. If they're just trading shares in the market, if you're just trading shares of something in the market, that has no actual connection to the company whatsoever. So the share can go to 1 cent. It probably won't, but it could. No, it probably won't. It probably wouldn't. It would get delisted before that. Although we do see Mullen and other, sub-dollar stocks. Anyway.
He lost over $6.8 billion. But in the day that it was happening, the day that he went onto the Hill, the day he reported that he closed the short position on GameStop, he got a buyout. He got a help out. He got a handout. And that was by Steve Cohen from SAC Capital previously, where he used to work. Gabe Plotkin used to work there. And Ken Griffin, when he used to work at Citadel as well. Gabe Plotkin used to work there. So first, Gabe Plotkin started out at Citadel, worked for King Griffin, then went over to SAC Capital. SAC Capital came under investigation. You guys remember Steve Cohen? He actually paid the largest fine in SEC history, billions of dollars, and he couldn't practice for 3 years for trading whatever. Now it's 0.72, you name it. But this guy right here, Gabe Plotkin, didn't say a word. He didn't turn in anyone when it came to the insider trading part. Everyone else went to jail. Everyone got in trouble. Not him. He's the one guy that didn't talk. So his get out of jail free card was, I'm stuck. I need collateral. It's not that they needed cash to close positions, but they needed collateral on the books so that they didn't have to get margin called. That's all it was. He held the collateral for X amount of months. Almost 8 to 9 months he held it before they asked for it back. It was just borrowing money. He gave back the money, closed up shop, and he wrote a letter to all investors. And I made a video about it somewhere. I did that video like a year and a half ago where he said, sorry, investors, I got this wrong, but I'm a man of integrity. I've learned from my mistakes. I'm out. So he's still a billionaire. Him personally, he just lost everybody else's money, his investors' money. Now, who is one of his investors? Well, if you know who it was Michael Jordan. Reportedly, Michael Jordan lost almost $500 million. That's liquid. That's cash. So yes, Jordan needs money, and he wants to go ahead and get all the money he can right now before what? This market crashes? While he's getting the heads up. Guess what's about to happen? Well, let's see what's about to happen, Gabe. Gabe comes out here and says, yeah, I'll buy the majority stake of your team from you, Michael. Michael already gave him his money. Michael already gave him all the money he could and lost it all. But here's the kicker. You got Rick. Rick Schnall, I'm looking at you. You know who Rick is? Rick's the minority owner of the Atlanta Hawks. And that right there, guys, boom, triggers me like it should. And why? Because Atlanta Hawks are owned by Tony Resler. Now, if you don't know Tony Resler originally Drexel Burnham Lambert with Mike Milken, with Leon Black.
Imagine thinking that knowing who owns all these fucking bullshit teams actually matters in the world. Imagine being so proud that you know who owns all these teams, that you're rattling off the names like you had lunch with them and played 18 holes with them the other day. What a clown. Guess what, Morantz? Your fucking sports teams are fucking useless, meaningless. Is there anything less relevant in the world than GameStop and AMC and basically the stock market in general? Yes, there is. Sports teams. So please continue educating us. Yeah.
With them all, guys. Mark Rowan, I can name them all. All the guys from...
Like, on one hand is, triggered at every turn of what is quote unquote happening with quote unquote private equity. On the other hand, is rattling off sports team owners. And I guarantee he's got a hard on right now. Like, why can't this guy just have cross eyes and be done with it?
All the guys from
That would be great.
But he also is partnered up with Mark Adesau, right? I forget. I don't know if.
Oh yeah, like I'm supposed to be supposed to know who that is. I'm supposed to know who this is, and we're supposed to say, "Ooh, yeah, oh my God, he's so rich. I got such a hard boner right now." It's dumb. It's dumb.
The Milwaukee Brewers, and this is where private
Like
equity
fake type A, fake alpha. Like this guy's such a joke. He's just such a fucking joke.
comes into play.
If you're gonna be this fucking cocky, you better have your shit together. And brother, you don't. You don't have your shit together.
Private equity,
Not even
is
close.
putting all this money on the line for sports teams.
Like you've got no proof. You've got no actual evidence listed here. You've said nothing. What are you trying to like? Yeah, your Muppets might believe you, but I mean, why aren't you wearing the helmet today?
Because every sports franchise, whether it be the NHL, NBA, MLB, and NFL, all of them actually beat out the S&P 500 on returns. So everybody wants to have their money on these books, but there's rules out there. You can only own 20% of a team. Like if it's majority-wise, you got to put in your own cash. You can't put in private equity money. There's
sports teams outperform the S&P 500. Well, that's great. Again, who cares? You can't trade a sports team on an open exchange. What the fuck? That's like saying Ken Griffin borrowed all of the FTX shares of AMC from the tokenized blockchain and used them to short on the stock market. No, he didn't. And that's a dumb suggestion.
a lot of things that people have to do. They have to follow.
Wow, it outperformed.
For ownership.
Outperformed the stock market. Wow.
Are going to come over.
I have to invest in that. What's the ticker?
But they're still private equity driven. Tony Resler's still there, Atlanta Hawks, still there, Milwaukee Brewers, still there, Drexel Burnham Lambert. Those dots are still connecting all the way through to where you're at today. Oh, and they got their wives involved. If you didn't know who Tony Resler is, go look at his wife, Jamie Gertz. She's an actress, yes, but she's also on the board of directors for the Melanoma Research Alliance, whatever the hell it is, and that's Mike Milken, if you guys can remember that, Leon Black.
I know another guy who's perfectly content to say, oh, the Melanoma Research, well, I don't know, whatever it is. Yeah, we know you don't know. You have no clue. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
They've all have ownership in sports teams.
And I have to say,
this footprint on America on how to make money any way they can. Now, Michael.
Well, that's called capitalism, my brother. That's called capitalism. Are you in or not? And Vineyards, I gotta correct. I gotta just make one slight adjustment here to what you said. No, it's WTF. What the fuck is this bullshit?
Let's go ahead and go back to
YouTube crisis actor. You know what? That's a great fucking characterization. That's the closest characterization I've heard. Wow.
And Melvin Capital. Melvin Capital lost all that money on GameStop. Did they close the short? Everybody wants to know. And I've told you this from time to time. You guys will probably listen with that good ear of yours. You can move the risk around, but you never eliminate it. We keep buying shares. Ryan Cohen keeps putting his money where his mouth is. I keep buying my own.
That's what you're going with? Boy, you are a fool. You are a fucking foolish motherfucker.
Because I love the company. I love the fundamentals, the way it's run.
You're leading.
You don't think they're in trouble?
Wait, you love the company? You love the fundamentals? You love what?
We keep buying shares. Ryan Cohen keeps putting his money where his mouth is. I keep buying my own because I love the company. I love the fundamentals, the way it's run. But if you don't think they're in trouble,
love the fundamentals, love the way it's run. Oh, but now they're in trouble? Now they're in trouble.
If you don't think this world's crumbling, go ask Michael Jordan when he just sold his number one asset, his most valuable asset, the thing that should be growing infinitely better than the whole market. And he just sold. I'm waiting. It
has nothing to do with GameStop. It has nothing to do with GameStop. You didn't connect a fucking single dot. It has nothing to do with GameStop. You didn't show a goddamn fucking bit of evidence that suggests or even hints at that it was. So far, now we have 4 minutes left in this fucking video. Let's see if we can speed that along.
about 20 years of waiting. And I know it's connecting the dots, guys, and I don't want to go this route, but it is Father's Day, so I'm going to give you a little bit something extra. I want you guys to understand what the relationship of this market is compared to the dollars that you make in it. Like, if you really think about what the baby booming era did, it created all of this need for things where people were like, you know, I want a house. So everybody goes out and buys a house. Everybody takes out a loan. This is all happening in the 70s. This all happened in the 80s.
What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, yeah, thank God for the baby boomers. We wouldn't be here right now. Spoken like a fucking narcissistic fucking boomer piece of trash. Holy fucking shit. Am I hearing this? I gotta slow it back down. Every time I speed it up, they get fucking ridiculous. And I'm not, you know, whatever, all joking aside, I don't care about generations. I don't give a fuck. But, I mean, you're acting like your generation is so fucking great. Yeah, what we have right now is a result of your generation. It's a result of your generation grabbing whatever it wanted, having a sense of entitlement to grab whatever they wanted, chew it up, and spit out what they didn't want. That's the scraps that my generation has to deal with. And guess what? We can't go out and buy a house because you, the ownership, now I'm not obviously not him specifically. He's not the ownership class, but the ownership and managerial class. They still have, even though these fucks, some of them are into their 70s, they still have that grip on things. I'm sorry, but this is garbage.
Where money was actually valuable. Now tenfold. You come back 40, 50 years later, guess what? Your dollar's worth nothing. So how are you going to keep pace with what the economy's doing? You need to go put it into this market, and guess what? You're going to lose. That's the whole point. All of you out there that think that you're smarter than the markets and think you're going to make a dollar, you're going to lose every dollar you put in.
Wow.
Then you find the little things. You find...
Wow. I mean, what a fucktard. I don't even know what to say.
Companies that you can, where you can make it back. And I don't care if it's Costco, I don't care if it's GameStop, I don't care if you got lucky with Apple and Samsung. You got to find the next thing because there's only so many inventions that we can make.
Yeah, it's not GameStop.
From these gaps of wealth. You think about it. You think about 2008, 2009, 2010. They didn't close out what they owed. They just pushed it that way.
Okay, there's a claim of factual. Where's your evidence? So this is what these clowns do. This is a right-wing tactic. It's absolutely a right-wing tactic. Oh, Lynn. I cannot stand this motherfucker. I think he is a toxic, absolutely harmful piece of shit. Like, it just gets more and more ridiculous with each one that I look at. Listen to what he's saying.
Of wealth. You think about it. You think about 2008, 2009, 2010.
No, you don't need to think about it, Marantz. You need to look at a fucking fact once in a while. You need to take the effort. Get off your fucking fat ass. If you can stand, you know, to not look at yourself in the camera with your fucking Kirkland sweatshirt. Congratulations. Yeah, I want to wear my fucking Costco sweatshirt. What a clown. And actually do some research. Yeah, go to the library and open up an encyclopedia, if that makes sense to you. But holy motherfuck. You got to be kidding me. 2008, 9, 10, they didn't close out what they owed. So let me guess. Let me just take a guess here. That is going to be the MOASS. That's the same money. They didn't pay it then. They're still not paying it, but we're going to make them pay. You're going to make them pay for what they didn't close out from 2008, right? Oh, please let it be that. Please let it be that.
What they owed. They just pushed it that way. And we'll push it down the road even further, hoping that they can find a vehicle, they can find something of worth that
GameStop.
This economy
has to be GameStop
back onto its feet. And the internet didn't do it, the iPhone didn't do it, the e-vehicle didn't do it. You tell me.
What are you talking about?
What's going to get us back to balance?
What is Apple's market cap? How does it compare to fucking GameStop's? Oh, there's also the fact that Apple is profitable. What are you talking about?
Back to zero. I'm going to guess nothing at this point. I think we're all going to come crashing. Maybe I'm a doomsdayer right now on Father's Day. No, I'm just telling you the truth of what it is, guys. There's so much demand.
Love that right-wing tactic too. Telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. No, because you haven't cited one fact. Truth and facts go hand in hand. You can't have truth without facts. You don't have facts.
For dollars.
Fuck.
And everyone always says, there's so much money out there, you can get it. Michael Jordan, there's so much cash out there, you can get it. That's the problem. There's too much money out there. They made too much. They printed too much. And now people.
What does that have to do with anything else that you've talked about?
Feel great. $3 billion is not nearly what it's worth. Not nearly what it's worth, because $3 billion is not $3 billion. $3 billion is not what it was a year ago. $3 billion is not what it was 5 years ago.
Guess what? Nobody cares about Charlotte fucking North Carolina and their basketball team. Okay? $3 billion? It should be 1/8 of that. If that. That's my personal opinion. My personal opinion. But now we're saying, okay, we printed too much money. We printed too much money. Where do you think all of that money went, motherfucker? Where do you think most of that money went? Hint, it was not to everyday Americans like yourself, not to everyday broom pushers like you. It's not. It's just not. The next big one is going to be Starlink and SpaceX. The next big what? I mean, that's a massive scam. As far as I'm concerned, SpaceX is a complete sham.
It's just a number, man. It's just a number, and they inflate it for you.
Oh, yeah. Marantz is telling Jordan how to make money.
All you out there, all you naysayers that don't understand whatever I'm talking about right now. Maybe you have
like that right there, that tactic right there. All of you naysayers who don't understand what I'm talking about. That's disparaging. It's disrespectful. And it's ignorant. That's not how somebody who deserves to have confidence talks about this stuff. It's just not. Yeah, no, we understand what you're saying. It's just fucking brain dead. And I don't know if you know that. I don't know if Marantz knows that or if he doesn't know that. Either way, he's a grifter. You have a responsibility to verify information and actually know it. Not even verify, actually know it before you say it. And if it's not true, then you have an obligation to say that. He's not doing anything like that. He's just bloviating.
And watched all 24 parts of Connecting the Dots.
No, will never happen.
Has a cash bag, the biggest in the world, and they got to pay off people.
There's nothing here has had anything to do with GameStop.
They got to pay somebody because they made a mistake. They get paid to manage risk. Everybody does. That's what they do. They're the experts at it. They hire Ivy League grad just to do it. They hire SEC guys who, the presidents of the SEC, all these board of directors of SEC, just so they don't get in violation of things. They're trying to buy their way into this. And all you have to do, all I have to do, I don't want to tell you how to do your stuff. All I have to do is buy one stock. Buy one stock. GameStop. Feel good about it. And watch the world crumble. Hey, Jordan, way to not pass on your team to the rest of your family, your kids, whoever. That cash you just made, I'm pretty sure you're going to burn it. And you're going to gamble it away because that's who you are, a degenerate. That's what it was when you gambled against GameStop.
This is absolutely outrageous. Because you reacted to their trade. The GameStop zealots reacted to what they perceived as some kind of assault, which is retarded. It's fucking stupid. GameStop would probably be better off right now if these fucking people hadn't ever heard of it, be honest. But you thought you understood what was happening and you didn't, so you got involved in something. And then, you know, a lot of things happened that you didn't, and a lot of other things happened that you didn't understand. And then you cried about that, and then you cried about this. You cried about that. And somehow that equates to, oh, they didn't do what they're supposed to do. I mean, give me a fucking break. Why does this fucking clown have a platform? I don't know, because that's another part of the, you know, no, it's not part. It's not. It has nothing to do with free speech. Nothing. Nothing to do with free speech. Google makes money on this. He's worried about his position. Yeah, sure. This is desperate pumping. I mean, it's like, what else could this be? What else could this be? It's factually incorrect. It's all over the place. He's like meandering around, and then all of a sudden, oh, they printed too much money. Yeah. Like you've happened upon that point, and it's not connected to anything else that you said. Like, again, pre-production, an ounce of pre-production is worth a ton of time in front of the camera, bloviating and talking out of your ass, noodling around like a fucking fool in a Costco sweatshirt.
But in the words of Cosmic Lightning Warrior, infinite risk, baby.
Cosmic Lightning Warrior.
And you still haven't gotten rid of it. Get at me, scrubs. It's Father's Day. By the way, I already lost 30 pounds. I'm down to 222. If you guys have...
Well, good for you. Congratulations. Wow, so proud. That shit is ridiculous as fuck. Michael Jordan will never financially recover from GameStop.
All right, bro.
Listen to this.
I have it right, but I'm going to just tighten it up for you. Okay, so way back in the day, 2.5 years ago, whatever.
I mean, this is like, we know it'd be hilarious. And maybe we need to make this happen. I want Michael Jordan to comment on this. And it could be in the form of a defamation lawsuit. Because to me, and I'm not a financial advisor, or lawyer, but to me, it seems like this is skirting the lines of defamation. Michael Jordan will never financially recover from GameStop? What? 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 You're saying that GameStop, you're saying that Michael Jordan is in some kind of financial arrears, first of all, and that he will never recover from those arrears, and it's because of GameStop. Give me a fucking break. Are you fucking with me, right? How fucking dumb.
Maybe when game...
Listen, God.
All right, bro.
You gotta be kidding me. This guy's gotta be fucking kidding. This guy has gotta be kidding. This has to be a joke. This has to be a joke.
Way back in the day, 2.5 years ago, whatever it may be, when GameStop took off, Melvin Capital was on the short
He
side.
doesn't even know when that was. You can't even take the fucking time to realize how long ago it was. What a dick.
But he has buddies.
I do too, Lynn. I do too. I want Michael Jackson to issue a C&D to this motherfucker. So bad. Oh my God. This is so fucking dumb.
Partners. Steve Cohen.
I can't even believe this. I just wasted an hour on this fucking dolt. Oh my God.
Citadel. So Citadel, Ken Griffin, richest man in Florida, richest man in Illinois, whatever we want to call it these days. He's a multi-billionaire. They go ahead and give them $4 billion.
Yeah, see, and the difference between somebody like this and me, I don't care if somebody's a billionaire. Okay? Like, I'm not going to invite whatever the guy's, who was the guy? Bill Pulte. Bill Pulte, the supposed Twitter billionaire who hands out money left and right like it's candy on Twitter, right? On my channel and say, oh, I can't believe somebody is great and powerful and smart as you would be buying GameStop too. You're all in. No, the guy didn't say any of that shit, and I don't give a fuck who it is. Having money does not make you smart. Doesn't make you a genius. Doesn't make you good at business. Ask my boss, or ask me about my boss, owner. But anyway, they don't allow that stuff to color my opinion of things to the degree that somebody like this does. It's a fixed mindset, honestly. If you want to get right down to it, in my mind, it's a fixed mindset. Marantz has a fixed mindset where rich people are smart and the things that they do are right and good because they must be because they're successful and smart and rich. Like Ryan Cohen. Mm, right. Why would we like Rush Limbaugh here? I mean, can you actually give us a can you give a reason based on anything that you've heard on this stream or in the chat that would suggest that we would like Rush Limbaugh? I mean, seriously. No, we don't like dumb shit here. And that includes ultra popular, overvalued stocks, shitty talk show hosts. I don't care if it's, you know, Rush Limbaugh or on the other side of the spectrum. Take your pick. I'm not a fan of Howard Stern either. I could give a shit about any of those guys. Although, dollars to donuts, there's no question in my mind. But anyway.
$1 billion and save them because they are short GameStop. They bet the short on GameStop completely. Michael Jordan has his money in with Gabe Plotkin. They're all from Chicago, okay? This is where it all stems from, the billionaires of Chicago. Well, Gabe Plotkin's a little guy. He's not a big guy. He doesn't have crazy money like Ken Griffin. So when Ken Griffin bails him out and saves him, Ken Griffin asks for the money back about 8 months later, 10 months later. Melvin Capital, it doesn't exist. You can go to their website. There's nothing there. The buildings are not there. There's nothing. There's no money here. But Gabe Plotkin has ownership in the it was the Bobcats, the Hornets. And so that's what Michael Jordan's going to do. He's going to sell out to him. Gabe Plotkin also owns, in connection with Apollo, Aries, all of them, they own over there the Atlanta Hawks. There's even Milwaukee Brewers, ties to Drexel Burnham Lambert. Like, you got to.
Who cares?
I know you don't do this part. But, bro, there's a reason why I talk about this private equity.
That little snide comment, I know you don't do that part. Look at this fucking grinning fucking motherfucker. I feel fucking sorry for your wife. You know she fucking hates you. She can't fucking stand this clown. Most likely. I would bet calls on a divorce in this clown's future if there's no GameStop squeeze, which there already has been. Calls on a divorce or puts on his marriage.
Bets in the world on
whichever way you want to look at it.
That is GameStop. They have not paid it back. And what you mean by they have not paid it back is they haven't closed the short position.
What are you talking about? Was the short position over 100% in January 2021? Yes or no? Yes. Is it now? No. What am I missing? What am I fucking missing? I'm getting fired up because this is so fucking absurd. This video is getting reported for misinformation too, by the way. It is. It's wrong. It's misinformation. It's not right. This is spreading misinformation. 100%. I'll spend all fucking night on this clown if I have to. Wow.
They've only moved it. Money is owed. And why is money owed? Why did they have to close the short? Because we keep buying shares. I am
oh, yeah?
a Bryant fan. I will gut Michael Jordan when I see
Oh, yeah.
do it by buying GameStop shares. That is the truth. We are crumbling this man. He is completely broke.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, he has
oh, yeah. You're crumbling everybody here, buddy.
When you have
what the fuck?
Risk. You bet the short, your losses are infinite. They never go away if we keep pushing it up. So are we betting the long? You better believe it. Do we have a great company?
Wow.
You know we do. And Ryan Cohen's at the helm of it all. So, bro, you almost have it right. You just got to tighten it up, the story, but don't change it. Don't change it. Don't start backpedaling now. Rico knows. Marantz knows. Get at me, punk.
This is the type of person that I like. It's so insidious. It's just so toxic. It's so toxic. Now, if you're going to start saying that AMC is going to go to the moon and stuff, just save it. Okay, that you can go take that to Morance's channel. Being realistic, being factually based is not positive. It's not negative. This is another thing I can't stand. Why are you so negative? Why are you so negative? I didn't realize that trying to find out what's actually true and what's not true is negative. It's not my fault that everything that these clowns believe and profess to be true isn't true. That's not my fault. It's not. If anything, it's the ape's fault for having such low standards, for being so susceptible to FOMO, for being so susceptible to being emotionally manipulated. Maybe tighten that up. But I mean, come on. Come on. You have to be realistic. This is not the place for wishing and emotions. Okay, well, now that that's over, look, let's see. What the fuck? This was in my AMC theater. This was in my AMC theater. There was a crowd around it when I was leaving. There were 5-year-olds getting excited. What is this? And I don't need the music. The thing is, it's not negative though. And I would challenge that every day, because what is perceived to be negative, I mean, actually it can be no negative. But I'm not going to get into that necessarily. Bringing up a point like, GameStop is not profitable. Okay. Might be seen as a negative point, but it's not. It is if you're biased to thinking that the GameStop share price should go up, but that's a bias. That's a pre-held, preconceived opinion. I think it should go up because I already own it. Okay, so for you, GameStop, talking about GameStop's unprofitability is a negative aspect. In reality, for investors, knowing the truth about something is always a positive. It's always better to know what the reality is, whether you think it's good or think it's bad. Not bringing in enough money to cover the money that you've paid out is not a good thing. But if that's the reality of the situation, isn't it better to know that than to be misinformed by these clowns that sit here like Morantz, who just overlooks all of that stuff, overlooks the fact that your sales are down, overlooks the fact that yada, yada, yada. So that's why I say, if you're biased a certain way, which I'm not, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. But if one is inclined to think that it should do this, and somebody's saying, well, facts are, then that's going to be perceived negatively. But it's always better to trade things as they are rather than the way you want them to be. So, now what is this about here? 5 Nights at Freddy's? Oh. AMC Classic. They don't know what they are getting into, and neither do the parents. Okay. this an AMC guy? Is it this kid? Oh, Jesus. Okay. No thanks. Who has a $15,000 price target? Oh, my mouse dying. I don't know. 15,000's paper hands for anything I've heard. Yeah, kids probably have that. Oh, Manuel, sorry about that. Yeah, I can. My battery's dying in my mouse. I have to use the. Let me bring this up here. So this is from the Chicago Sun-Times. Michael Jordan's net worth down $500 million in the last year. The GameStop saga may have something to do with it too. Okay. It's possible that such a large decline is related to the biggest Wall Street story of the year. This was in 2021, by the way, too. He'll never recover from a $500 million loss. 2 years ago, Jordan sold a minority share of the Hornets to two investors. One of them was Gabe Plotkin. Okay. Details of Jordan's current business relationship with Plotkin and the other investor aren't publicly known. Okay. So there's nothing in here that actually ties it to anything. It says Michael Jordan sold a minority share of the Hornets to two investors. One of them was Gabe Plotkin. A hedge fund that required billions in additional cash after incurring major losses due to a short squeeze of GameStop stock by groups of retail investors. So, we don't, details of Jordan's current business relationship with Plotkin aren't publicly known. So, how is the 500 million drop tied to GameStop again? I fail to see anything here. Fail to see anything. Unless I'm missing something, I don't know. I don't know. But that's the kind of shit that they love. Facts, let's see, articles that are thin, light on facts. Because then they can fill it in. They can fill it in with bullshit. All right. I'm getting requests for Frankie, getting requests for Donnie. That'll be the last two, okay? Good. Very good. Why Adam AREN investigate synthetic shares in AMC. Short sellers and Adam AREN's not telling the truth about the reverse stock split. Why no voters is upset with Adam AREN influencers. Fuck you and your channel. Fuck you. Fuck you. Michael Jordan, let's see, is a gambler. He spent the money that they are calling a loss. He started a NASCAR team in 2020. That's where the money went. Oh, okay. So just straight up facts left out of the. Says Forbes showed $2 billion and 1.6 billion in other, 400 million loss is speculative. True. I guess that would be true.
What's up, man? This Frankie.
The whole thing is so.
Anything that fuck you. I think you a bitch. You understand what I'm saying? I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only. Whatever I say in this video is my opinion.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
It may not necessarily be factual. Don't buy, sell, or hold a stock because of anything that I say in this video. Do your own DD.
Okay.
You know, man, a lot of these Adam AREN influencers, some of them rather than tell the truth about how a large percentage of retail investors feel about AREN and how he's managing the stock and how he's treating retail investors. Man, they would just
He doesn't manage the stock. He doesn't manage the stock.
they would rather just make up shit that don't make any sense. They would just rather make up something. And man, they never get tired.
What, the influencers? We talking about Morant's here?
Manipulate the community. And see, I was looking at Donahue George's video. I think it was the last video that he did. And I knew what he was talking about when he was doing the video because I saw the same BS circulating the same information. I wasn't going to say anything. But see, look, man, you got these AREN influencers. They always looking for ways, and they be lying all the time, trying to manipulate the people. But they always looking for ways to make excuses why AREN won't do his job and why he won't do nothing about the corruption in the stock. They do it all the time. And it's really sad, man, because they sit up and they just make up shit. And we always catch them in their lies. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of this stuff, man, especially on YouTube, a lot of these AREN influencers, man, they doing it so that they can get the YouTube traffic and ad revenue. So what they doing, man, they clickbait. Because see, they got to come up with, even if it's not the truth, even if it's a lie, they got to come up, man, with something that's pro-AREN or pro-AMC just to make the money. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of time they make up shit. I wouldn't have an issue, man, with the clickbait if it was the truth. But a lot of time, man, they be lying. And like I said, they never get tired of lying to the community and trying to manipulate the community. You see what I'm saying? And see, now you got AREN influencers out there. They're circulating BS information. They saying that, oh, okay, AREN don't want to say nothing about synthetics in the stock, fake shares, counterfeit shares, illegal naked shorting. He don't want to say nothing about the corruption in the stock because he don't want this shit is crazy, man. Because he don't want the SEC looking into the stock and investigating the company. Bro, that's nonsense. You see, that's nonsense. You see what I'm saying? Look, if there's allegations of corruption going on in AMC stock, if there are some outside forces or entities engaging in wrongful acts, misusing our stock, abusing their shareholders, if you're a CEO and you ain't doing nothing wrong, why would you have a problem with the SEC investigating the stock?
I'll tell you why. I mean, see, this is an ignorant, short-sighted speculation here. And this is why, Tony.
And, you know, if you don't understand the situation, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile in the matter. Okay, so
yeah, thank you, Tony. It's because it looks bad. Remember, the stock market is like a group of 12-year-old girls. That's my best analogy for it. It is a group of adolescent girls. Somewhere deep down inside, the truth matters. But generally speaking, it operates on rumors. It operates on bullshit. It operates on jealousy, FOMO, all of the dumb shit, basically, at least in the short term. In the long term, you know, like I said, everybody grows up and things even out. So, in that sense, you don't want people, you don't want Wall Street, you don't want institutions, you don't want the suggestion that you are blaming someone else. And that's what essentially he would be saying. Hey, I know our stock price is shitty. I'm saying it's not my fault. It's not our fault. It must be something that was done to us. We're victims. That's not taking responsibility. That's not what someone wants to hear when they're deciding where to put their money for a long-term investment. And that matters. That's missing from AMC. Would it help matters if they started talking about this? No, likely it wouldn't. You can compare it to other companies that did, and you can see what the effect was. So this is I mean, like, I on some level, I appreciate what he's trying to do, I guess, but Adam Aaron has been a CEO or a corporate executive, corporate type for a long fucking time. I think this is one of those situations where you have to defer to, I'm not even going to say the wisdom, but the experience of somebody having been in a situation, in a role, in an environment that you have never been in, that you have no clue what it is like, or what you should actually do. That's why he's a CEO and you're not, essentially, because you don't go around blaming everyone else. You're supposed to take responsibility. That's why these clowns like Roger Hamilton, I mean, he's a total piece of trash. John Berta, trash. All these clowns are trash. So anyway, what? That's a bit sexist. All these guys, did I say guys? I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. So what? It was sexist. Call the fucking woke police on me, okay? Now I'm gonna get accosted for being sexist. Call the woke police.
Into the stock. Look, for me, it's two reasons why a CEO wouldn't want somebody.
Okay, let's see.
If it's
Let's see.
allegations of corruption going on with the stock. One would be the CEO is involved in the corruption. That's one thing. You see what I'm saying? If he's involved in the corruption, or management is involved in the corruption, you see what I'm saying? Or he don't want man.
Oh, the 12-year-old girl thing. That's probably sexist. Billy. Okay, Billy.
Any liability, you know,
12-year-old boys, 12-year-olds. There.
Looking at it. Or if he know who's doing the corruption in the stock. You see what I'm saying? He know who's engaging in the corruption in the stock, and he's trying to protect the people. That's
we'll go to the token female here, and she says it's not sexist. So
doing the corruption in the stock, the illegal naked showing and using the synthetic shares. Them the two reasons. He's involved, or he's trying to protect the people.
I mean, those are the two reasons. Those are the two reasons.
And let's be honest, man.
Like, if you're biased, like that, you already think that or something like that. Yeah, you might come up with those two reasons. But I mean, that from an unbiased standpoint, no, those aren't the only two reasons. No, it's because that's not what they do. That's not customary. That is bad form. It's like you went to dinner at somebody's house and the food, you didn't really like the food. And they ask you, "Oh, how was your dinner?" Are you going to say, maybe that's not a great example because the food actually was shitty. But if the person hosting this dinner is somebody that you are expecting to get a lot of money from in an investment, are you going to be honest? Are you going to say, what, I think your cook might have put something in the food because it was terrible. I'll speculate on that. No. Are you going to brown nose them? Maybe. But more than likely, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, it was great. Thank you. Yes, it was delicious. This is Adam Aaron saying that, yes, the food was delicious. When he knows why it's underperforming in their eyes. I mean, it's just, they want to boil everything down to, they want to boil everything down to, it's corruption, and they go into it with that mindset. So everything they see is corruption. That's ignorant, okay? That's just ignorant. That's not how shit works. It's how shit works for people who tend to lose. If I can be frank, you don't, if I can be frank, that was unintentional. if you're focused on that shit, then you're going to see that in everything, even if it's not there. That's dangerous. That's biased. That's why I would have to think, at least in my mind, that's why, for lack of a better term, lay people have no business talking about this shit, really, with the degree of confidence that they talk about it. I'm not worried about this guy, but somebody like Morantz, somebody maybe even like Lou, people believe what they say. It's amazing. It's crazy. They believe them.
A large percentage
No,
of retail investors,
no.
they feel like the reason why AREN won't do anything about the allegations of the corruptions in the stock, the corruption in the stock, or the illegal naked short, the fake shares. Most people believe that he won't do anything about it because he's trying to protect 1%.
And there's the assumption that he's going in with. There are naked shorts, there are synthetic shares, yada, 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 but you haven't actually seen any proof of those things. I mean, so yeah, of course. What's the reason that AREN is not going to do this thing that we all think he should do? But we know nothing, and we're not experienced, but we all think that he should. And if he doesn't, it's because clearly he's in bed with them. Give me a fucking break. Tell me that you are a brain dead fucking moron without saying it in those words. Please, please.
Like we said
Jesus.
the whole time. We know, man, it's corruption in our opinion, illegal naked shorting. That's the only way you can.
We know, in our opinion, incompatible statement. We know, in our opinion. Well, if I hope you would know it if it's your opinion. But beyond that, you don't know it. You think it. Start using the right language. You think it.
From
you don't know shit.
$72 to $4. So, man, we have a strong opinion that there's corruption in the stock. But in the midst of all this corruption, man, that has taken place in the stock over the past 2 years, who is getting rich off the stock? AREN made millions of dollars.
People that knew what they were doing.
Funds may have made billions. You see what I'm saying? Man, it ain't got nothing to do with he don't want to say nothing because he don't want the SEC looking into the stock. Man, that's bullshit. We all know why, in our opinion, AREN don't.
We all know. We all know.
Because a lot of us, man, we know what's going on with the stock. Look, man, these AREN influencers, you have to be careful, man, with dealing with these guys because they got their personal motives. They don't care nothing about.
Oh yeah, you better.
They got their personal motives, man.
You better.
That's it. They got personal financial motives, man, for putting information out here. And if you let these folks, man, in my opinion, they will help AREN take your shares, man, to take your money. Thank you for taking time. Thank you for taking time out to watch
Jesus
this video, man.
fucking Christ! Look at all these crappy videos. Holy shit. Does Markets with May? Did she move on from this yet, or she's still grifting? Wow. Yeah. All right. No, doesn't look like she's moved on. Last AMC video is 5 months ago, although it looks like there was a live stream 2 weeks ago with Tony, Mr. Hmm. Okay. 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 Yep. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, that's cute. That's cute right there. Uncle Smokey. What is AST? Something else that won't make any difference, but oh, speak of the devil. Roger Hamilton is about to make a major announcement. Here, let's do this. This is important.
Previously on a noisy Corax, and the judge is having none of it. can you proceed with a lawsuit given this information? She just bluntly re-asks the question. And at that point, Mr. Basile, and I'm quoting straight up, says, "We may not have enough data to go forward with a lawsuit."
Ooh, wrong answer.
That's it. We're done here. I may still go on. There's like 30 more minutes of this hearing, but the emperor has no clothes. It's over here. They just got done having a question where there was a big long argument about you can't use this motion to get this particular type of information. And then the judge moved from that to, okay, for this particular type of information you can get with this motion, would that be enough for your—
What is the deal with this music? Why?
whole decision? And
God. A dumbass Corax. What is wrong with these people?
This whole decision and calling it out right from the start, but there's nothing really to celebrate. The fact that the court came out the way it did was so unbelievably obvious. There is no way that anyone could not have seen what was coming. And it's almost pointless to go over the ruling to explain it, because you could simply go to my last video that I just gave a clip from, and you would have all the reasons that the court gave for getting rid of this stupid motion. In fact, the court had no problems taking Mr. Basile's words and throwing them back into his face. Quoting from the ruling, in its moving papers, petitioner asserts that he anticipates bringing claims for damages for stock spoofing, naked shorting, market manipulation, and fraud. While petitioner claims he is seeking
garbage
disclosure to identify prospective defendants, he acknowledges he is seeking transaction data that he hopes will allow him to identify a basis for liability and will reveal supporting facts to permit him to plead anticipated claims with specificity.
Game over.
Is contrary to the purpose of CPLR Section 3102. In fact, at oral arguments, petitioner's counsel acknowledged that the identity of the brokers would only be pertinent to the alleged fraud claims, and that all other causes of action required information and data from the blue sheets beyond just identifying potential defendants. Based on this omission, the court need only assess whether petitioner has asserted a meritorious cause of action for fraud. That's right. On the fraud charges, that was the only one that they need to find a meritorious.
Because they need to find out whether it has meritoriousness or not. Right? Remember? Meritoriousness. Or simply merit.
Action on, because the rest of it was just
Bird lady. Love her. Big Berta.
Expedition. It was bullshit. And even contrary to Mr. Basile's position or statements to the court that he could survive.
I thought this guy was a pro MMTLP.
That he did not even state a claim on the fraud, the one charge that it could consider for this motion. They did not state a claim, which means they would fail on a 12B motion to dismiss, because they didn't state a claim.
The motion involving, or the motions involving identification are very important to this case. And obviously,
he seemed to not reveal a calamity had just occurred. I didn't know whether he really realized that a calamity had occurred to his case.
And much like that clip said, I don't think Mr. Basile understands the calamity that has befallen his case. I don't think any of them understand the calamity that has befallen this case. There is no coming back from this. Yeah, sure, Mr. Basile has said, now we go up. They're going to go ahead and appeal this.
I don't know who the ninja investor is, but based on the name, no, I hate him.
Has identified where the judge got it wrong. Not one point in that ruling can they say, they point to and say it was wrong. They just say, I disagree, the ruling's wrong, but don't elaborate on it in any means or fashion or way. They can't explain where the judge misapprehended the facts of the case or the law that pertains to it. All it is,
of course not.
Hollow rhetoric. And Drew can add all the eye roll. All it is.
A demagogue must be neither an educated nor an honest man. He has to be an ignoramus and a rogue. I'm looking at several of the influencers here.
Hollow rhetoric. And Drew can add all the eye rolls in his fucking Twitter posts that he wants to, but it can't turn away from the fact that he has no ground to stand on. It is all empty sand beneath him. And the same goes for Mark Basile in this stupid case. I'd love to debate the facts.
The clowns, yeah.
This appeal is meaningless. But until one of the MMTLP crowd actually produces what exactly the judge got wrong here, all I'm going to say is the burden of proof is on y'all, and leave it at that. All this,
as it always is
an empty bag of air, a bunch of blowhards who have no comprehension of the law, right down to the lawyer they have running the case. So anyway,
But they have Wes Christensen on in there? They have Wes Christian on there. Huh, didn't know that.
So we can move on to actually important things, like, for instance, the NCMI bankruptcy that's currently going on. I got some news on that one. I'm hoping to still get the hearings, but it looks like those are not going to be posted to the docket, so I'm going to actually have to request them from the court, because there was some drama that went down, and I've got a good reason as to why now that I've read the filings, so I'll be getting to that video next. Until next time, I'll catch you.
It's easy for people
What we would have to... Wait, is this the guy that's talking about Adani all the time? Looks like an Indian channel. I don't know anything about the Nifty 50. I'll tell you what, why don't you join the Telegram chat group if you haven't already, and give us a link so we can check it out. The link to that chat is in the description of the video, so that might be something. But I just searched for Ninja Investor, and I came up with something that appeared to be a primarily Indian focused on Indian securities. I'm not really, like I said, I don't know much about the Indian stock market, so it's kind of foreign. And we like Strongman Personal Finance too. Let's see if he's got anything that's good recently. Oops. Let's see.
I hate to say it, but everybody's making money and I'm not. Everybody is rich.
Welcome to...
And I'm the only person in the world that's poor. Maybe I should go all in large cap tech stocks and Palantir like
yes. Yes. You should.
Strongman Personal Finance. We got to talk about some life advice here, okay? I need to set some things straight. I need to educate you.
Okay. This is a fantastic way to play out the stream. So I'm going to let Strongman educate us here. Thanks for hanging out on Sunday night. I got to get going here after this video. Get ready for bed. Because I have to work tomorrow. I don't have a holiday, Manuel. So enjoy staying up late. Hope you have fun.
Make you understand the truth of the world that you may not be seeing right now. So if you turn on YouTube, you go to Wall Street Bets, you go to whatever stock website you're at, everybody's making so much money. Everybody's up 100%, 200%. They bought Tesla calls. They bought Palantir. They bought all these clown stocks that have gone up massively. And you probably feel like an idiot because you bought some boring stock like, I don't know, Home Depot, or you bought VT, or you bought VTI. You're only up 15%. I mean, Palantir has crushed VT, right? Obviously, VT is the worst investment. But there's one thing you got to understand, and I've learned this being on YouTube. People are disgusting liars. All of them, okay? Or the vast majority of people are liars about their portfolio. I cannot tell you how many comments I've gotten on my videos. Every time Tesla goes up, every time Palantir goes up, every time tech stocks go up, I get comments on my videos. I just made more than you made in your entire life with VT Strongman in the course of a year. And I can guarantee you, most people that are posting those type of comments, no, they didn't get those gains, okay? And if they did, it was a small part of their portfolio. People lie to make it seem like they are rich, when in reality, most of these clowns have a Robinhood account with $10,000 in it, and they're not wealthy. And I'm not saying it. There's nothing, like, if you're just starting investing, there's nothing wrong with not having a lot of money. I mean, everybody's at that point when they first start investing, unless you're Paul Gabriel. But it's okay, when you first start off, you're going to build wealth slow. But if you take these massive risks, which these clowns are going to entice you to do. You see all these comments, you see all these stocks going to the moon, Nvidia, Palantir, you're going to be enticed to just throw your money in the stocks because everybody else is getting rich, why won't you? And I guarantee you, by the time you start throwing your money in there, you're already in the bubble. You're probably buying the top is what's happening, okay? You got to be extremely careful, especially when you're young. People say, oh, you should take risks when you're younger, and then when you're older, get more conservative. Well, I mean, I could see that to an extent, but that doesn't mean you just take massive, insane, overwhelming, clownish risk and potentially lose all your money. Because if you put your money in a sound investment when you're 22 and you let that compound over 40 years, it's going to turn into a lot of money. But if you put your money into a clownish investment and you lose it all because you buy the top of a bubble, oh, guess what? You missed out on 40 years of compounding growth in a total market index, for example, okay? So I don't necessarily buy just take more risks when you're younger. You don't know as much, you're a clown, guaranteed, and you're just probably buying stunks that went up a lot that are gonna revert to the mean, okay?
However, although I will say, if you're gonna do that, do it when you're young because you don't have any responsibilities. So I can see both sides of this. I mean, that's not to say be completely irresponsible, but in my mind, it makes sense to do that when you're young and you have maybe, nobody depending on you, like for a roof over their head, for example, like kids or a wife, significant other, spouse. You can be smart. You can limit the amount of that you are straight up gambling with. You don't have to gamble with all of it. So, I mean, I was kind of also reading comments in the chat, so I don't know if I missed his point, but I just heard that last part. Anyway,
everybody is not getting rich. Now people
No, everybody's not getting rich. No.
Strong man. I bought Palantir and I'm up so massively and you're just a broke loser. Look, I don't care if some clown bought Palantir and he doubled his money. You know what happens when you keep doing that?
True.
You're eventually gonna make a mistake and you're gonna lose money. Because that doubling the money thing, you could double your money and double your money and double your money. And there's one investment where you lose 70%, 80% and it doesn't come back. Oh, you've lost all the money that you made earlier. A lot of these clowns are gambling clowns and they will eventually make a huge mistake, guaranteed. And they will lose the vast majority of their money and they'll be back at square one. But you won't see
pretty much statistically guaranteed that would be the case.
That's why you index, okay? You're never gonna get extraordinary 10x gains. Duh. Okay? I've never seen an index 10x in 2 days. If it did, I would be terrified. But that should VT going 900 VT. But that's the whole point, because it mitigates the risk that you make a stupid decision. You buy one clown stock because you think clown stocks just go up all the time, and then you lose 70, 80, 90%, or God help you, 100% of your money, which is entirely possible too. Okay? So don't get discouraged by these clowns. I've done extremely well. Okay, people make fun of me because I bought VT instead of VTI. I don't care. Okay, I'm investing for 40 years. I don't care if US stocks went up more for a decade. I don't care if Palantir went up more. I don't care if Tesla went up more. I'm accumulating wealth in a broadly diversified total market, tax efficient, generally tax efficient, low expense ratio, ETF mutual fund or index fund. And guess what? When I'm 50 or 60, I guarantee you I'll be a millionaire. Guaranteed I will be a millionaire. And I didn't have to take any clownish risks. I didn't have to gamble my money, because that's what you're doing. These clowns are gambling their money. 100% they are gambling their freaking money. And you know what happens to gamblers? The house always wins eventually. But you know, it's just so sad to me. Like, the clowns they're so enticing. They have such an advantage over me, because you know, my strategy works 100%, and it's a superior strategy, but it takes time to come to fruition. Wealth building takes a lot of time. These clowns can just point at a stock that went up recently in like a month. Like, oh wow, a month, it went up in a month, oh wow. And they can say, oh, see, look at those gains. And they leave out all the context. That's not their cost basis. They were buying way before that. Stocks can fluctuate massively. The next month when it goes down, they won't say anything anymore. They have so many more advantages over me when I'm trying to explain to you this stuff. But you know what? You don't have to believe me, okay? You can, instead of buying a broadly diversified total market index, go ahead and buy Palantir. It went up a lot. Go ahead and buy Tesla. It went up a lot. Go ahead and just put all your money in QQQ because tech stocks, bro. That's just buy tech, bro. It's so clownish, man. I hate the whole stock investing industry. It's such a clownish joke. You basically just buy stuff.
It really is. It really is a clownish joke. It is pretty dumb. It is pretty fucking stupid. I have to say. I can't disagree with them. It is retarded. It's dumb as fuck.
You're gonna be okay. Don't get discouraged. Don't believe these clowns. Stay the course. Max your tax advantage accounts. Buy a total market index. And trust me, if you max your tax advantage accounts starting in your 20s, yeah, you're gonna be a millionaire. I guarantee it. And you don't have the risk of losing your massive broke clown in retirement. Anyway, I gotta go to get my paycheck because I'm gonna start maxing my 401k. Oh, I get access to my 401k at work and about 50.
Oh, he got paid this past Friday? No, not get paid this week. So I was just looking at the looks like it was on January 28th, or I'm sorry, May 28th, 2021 that AMC got $70 strikes for the June 18th expiration. Here on Thinkorswim on ThinkBack, looking back at the options. And the thing is, like, oh man, these were so overpriced. And these aren't even the worst. These aren't even the worst offenders of them all. Like, let's go forward a few days into June. You got these 145s. I mean, that's not even the worst. I don't even think that's the worst that they, maybe it is. Maybe that was. Look at that. There were literally, okay, the 145s came out on June 3rd, 2021, one day after this run up. One day after the run up, 145, and there were 41,000 of them. Wow. 41,000. Insane. I don't think we can look at the chart for it. I think it's too old. And it won't show us the chart. Nope. No, sir, won't. Too bad. Too bad. Well, anyway. But like I said, I mean, you don't have to, or that, or you can join the Telegram group where I might point out where 2 years ago we were saying very similar things as to what we're saying now. Now, I want to say we always go off the evidence where things look, where things, you know, the way reality is. But it's, you know, it says something when 2 years later you're talking about the same things and they're still wrong. You know, like that's kind of messed up. And I got to hand it to the people that are here, you know, that've been with the channel for mostly that whole time. We would have, we would have, what you call it? What am I trying to say here?
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying what are you saying? Huh?
So Quest trades in Canada, so you're Canadian. So they don't have payment for order flow in Canada, Lynn, I don't believe. So the alternative, see, here's the thing. The alternative, apes, is you pay $30,000 in fees. So, you know, and maybe some people would rather do that. But you know, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know what kind of advice to give somebody who lost that much money. You know, I have no idea. Although I will say, it wasn't $2.5 million that you put in. It was profit that you didn't take out or you put back into the wrong thing. So, and there is a difference between straight up saying I invested $100,000 and I lost every dime of it. You lost $100,000 there. If you made $2.5 million in profit off of $70,000 and, you know, you ended up losing the 70, then you lost, right? But I would say you lost 70, not 2.5 million, because that wasn't your money to begin with. Know what I mean? So maybe you only lost 70,000. I don't know. At least some here other than Model 3 dude knows what it's to be a millionaire on paper. That's hilarious. But, and that's certainly not me. Certainly not me. Money doesn't solve real problems. It just covers them up for a while. Right. Ask Gabe Plotkin. He knows. Lynn, he knows. Okay. Well, anyway, I got to get out of here. It's been another hour. Another hour. But I do hope that you join us over there, Billy, in our Telegram chat, and anybody else who's, you know, lost money or making money, or if you hate money, you'll be in good company too. So, I don't know if Model 3 dude left, but I'm going to take his advice and kick the song snippet. Being healthy is more important than being wealthy. That is true. There he is. That is true, Manuel. And, you know, right now, with some things that had been going on around here, I can attest to this. So, yeah, being healthy and having your independence is much more important than being wealthy. I have some people who would really, you know, they would probably trade a lot in order to be healthy. So, all the money in the world can't bring that back. Anyway, let's do it.
Roll another blunt, man. These is good times.
Oh, yes, roll another blunt. These are good times.
You full of shit. Full of shit.
Anyway, have a good week. Maybe we'll go live tomorrow since there's not going to be much to talk about. I don't know. Have a good one, guys. Thank you. Seriously. Appreciate all the support and criticism. Keep it coming. Later.